Hawthorne Masjid is the best at Islamic Jeopardy. So inshallah, if you guys want to show the meetup, there's no phones allowed. Do not use your phones, inshallah. Oh, Brother Imran has a different opinion. But inshallah, we're going to be playing Islamic Jeopardy later on. And then we will be ending the night with suhoor from Famous Grill. So it's going to be pancakes, eggs, hash browns, and hot dogs, inshallah. Alhamdulillah, I think we'll have enough for everybody, and some more to go around, inshallah. So without further ado, before I introduce Sheikh Mustafa Ahmad, I have to do a little bio, as always. So Mustafa Ahmad was born and raised in Southern California. He holds a Bachelor's of Arts in Islamic Studies from the European Institute of Islamic Sciences, a Master's in Islamic Studies from the University of Gloucestershire, I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm sorry. Okay, inshallah. As well as a Bachelor's of Science in Information and Computer Science from the University of California, Irvine. He has traveled extensively and studied under scholars from around the world, including scholars from Al-Azhar and Dar al-Ulum in Egypt. He has authored several books and has served as a religious director at King Fahd Mosque in Culver City. Many other things. SubhanAllah, his resume is huge, so it's going to take a while. But right now, he is the current director and founder of California Islamic University, which I hope that he will share for a couple minutes during the end of his talk about what that is exactly. But for the most part, he is a sheikh that I love, that many of us love, alhamdulillah, and he is a source of knowledge for all of us. So without further ado, Sheikh Mustafa Ahmad.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, so I was told before we start to have everyone just kind of scoot forward, which is a great suggestion actually. So if we can just move forward, inshallah. Although I feel like this is a giant gap between, some masjids, like in Jummah, the best seat in the house is considered like the back row. People want to keep their backs to the wall. But like there's not a single concert in the world where the back row is like sold out first. And it's the opposite, right? So to kind of adjust that a little bit. So yeah, just scoot in a little bit more. It's all right. I don't spit when I speak. You should be okay, inshallah. All right. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa ba'd. So I want you to imagine that the angel of death is coming to you in 60 minutes, in the next hour. Angel of death, you're told by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that the angel of death is coming to take your life in the next 60 minutes. What's the first thing that's going to come to your mind? Some answers. What's the first thing that's going to come to your mind? What do you think if that was going to happen? Make istighfar, okay. You can think about your family, what to talk to your family, what last advice to give them. What else? You're going to start praying? Okay. You're thinking what to do, right? What's the thought that's going to come to your mind? Is to run, to start running. You're going to go jogging, basically. Okay. All right, but that's not going to help you, right? Yeah, it's not going to help you. Right. But yeah, that's a thought. Okay. What else? Regrets and sins, right? What's the question that's going to come to your mind? The biggest question. That's it. What does that mean? Am I ready to face Allah? Basically, what's going to happen to me? Right? Like I have 1 hour left. Can I do something in this 1 hour that's going to get me into Jannah and protect me from Jahannam? Like that's what most people would think when they kind of calm down, when they stop running, when they stop doing whatever else they're doing. When they talk to their family, they're going to start thinking, where am I going to go? Where am I going to end up? That's the question that's going to happen. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has hidden many things from us. So we have the last 10 nights coming, and Laylatul Qadr is coming, right? One of these last 10 nights. And the common question that a lot of people ask is, why don't we know exactly when the night of Laylatul Qadr is? It's not the 27th. It's not guaranteed to be the 27th. We're supposed to be praying in the last 10 nights. But we don't know which night it is. And it's commonly asked by people. I ask the same question. Why did Allah have to hide this from us? And the thing is, Allah has hidden many things from us for our own good, so that we work a little bit harder. So among the things that Allah has hidden from us is our dua. We don't know if our dua is accepted. So you make dua and you think, that was a pretty sincere one. I cried a little bit. I was really serious about it, but you don't know if it's going to be accepted. You don't get like this feedback coming back, like the text message comes, ding, your dua was accepted this time. Or after you pray salah, you don't know if your deeds are accepted. You don't get like a message come back that was like a 34%, concentration prayer. We're going to give you 34% the credit for that prayer. Allah has hidden that from you. You don't know. So that you actually keep focusing and you keep trying your best and you don't become complacent with the things that you're doing. So the same thing, our lifespan is restricted. Our lifespan is not transparent to us exactly when we're going to die. It could be at any time. That's the reality. Sometimes we want to play it off. We want to just kind of brush it aside. We don't want to think about it. We want to just think about something else so we don't get stressed out and all that stuff. But the reality is, at the end of the day, as Muslims, we know that it could happen at any time and nobody knows who's next. We really don't know. And the thing is, the first thought that we should be thinking is, what's going to happen to me? Am I prepared to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And what that means is, am I prepared to go to Jannah? Or am I going to be held accountable for my sins? That's what it all boils down to. But the thing is, we don't think about that. We don't like to keep that thought in our mind. We're all guilty of that. We try to brush it off. And there's a reason why we brush it off. The reason why we brush it off is because we look at the average lifespan of people. And we have this hope that we're going to be among those people. So the average lifespan, some countries is 60 years, 70 years. The highest currently is 83 years in 3 countries. In Japan, in Switzerland, and in Singapore. 83 years is the average lifespan of a human being. Which is very interesting, actually. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that Laylatul Qadr, the night of power, which we're going to be praying extra in the last 10 nights, is equal to 1,000 months. And 1,000 months in the lunar calendar is exactly 83 and 1/3 years. So the entire lifespan of what you're going to get. That's the maximum. And some people live longer than that. Some people live up to 100 years. The longest that we know in the last 100 years or so was a lady from France, French lady. She lived to be 122 years old. So some people are thinking, and maybe I'll live that long. So there's this assumption that if you live that long, you still got a lot of time to change yourself. You got a lot of time to make tawbah, ask Allah for forgiveness, do some bad things, and then you'll have enough time to kind of make up for it somehow, to do some extra prayers. And we're all deluded by this. Because the reality is, an average life expectancy does not mean that it's going to apply to you. And there's no percentage that can actually apply. Because if you're not in that category, then what's going to happen? There's no guarantee, right? So to be on the safe side, you should always try to reflect and try to think about how often do I think about the fact that I'm going to die one day, and it could be very soon. I need to change my behavior now, rather than thinking that I can delay. I can do something later. I can ask Allah for forgiveness later. I can start praying my 5 times prayer. I can do that later. I can start following, the other commands of Allah. That, He told me to dress a certain way, I can do that later. He told me not to eat certain type of food, I can do that later. He told me to, stop talking to this girl or talking to that guy, I can do that later. Everything is later. And this is a problem that everyone has. Even people who are like in their 60s, they're like, it's okay, maybe when I'm 70, I'm going to go perform Hajj. Inshallah, I'll ask Allah for forgiveness for all the things that I've done. There's always this assumption that we have a little bit more time, and that's what's called procrastination. We procrastinate the things we know we're supposed to be doing. And the same thing happens when it comes to our Islam. So on the Day of Judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes exactly what's going to happen. He says that when people are asked on the Day of Judgment, how long did you live? They're going to say, it was like a day, or like part of a day. It was like maybe 2 hours, maybe 1 hour. When they look back on their life, they're going to look back and they'll be like, it was like an hour or two. But when we're in life and we look at our life, we look at it as if it's like this long thing. We got some long time ahead of us. But that's not the reality. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran the future of what's going to happen, and how when we look back at our life, we're going to realize that, you know what? It just flew by. It just passed by very quickly. And then we look back and we're like, it just went so fast. And a lot of people, we see that all the time. We look at Ramadan and we're like, man, Ramadan, almost 20 days have gone by so fast. And we look at our high school, we look at middle school, we're like, man, it just breezed by. It just flew by very quickly. But your entire life is going to be like that. Doesn't matter if you live 1,000 years, you're going to look back at your life and you're going to say it felt like an hour or 2 hours. That's what's going to happen to human beings. Well, we're going to realize on the Day of Judgment what our lifespan really was. Because we're going to see it now. Because on the Day of Judgment, what happens? We're going to see paradise and we're going to see hellfire. And we're going to realize that this reality that we're in now is infinite. It's infinite. And our lifespan, which was, let's say you got 1,000 years. If your lifespan was 1,000 years, and you divide that by infinity of what you're going to live now, does anyone know what that number goes to? The number is 0. In mathematics, when you divide any finite number by infinity, it equals 0. That's just the way it works, because it's so minuscule compared to something that's so infinite, it equals 0. It's nothing. It's almost like nothing. And we're only going to realize that. We can talk about it, but we're only going to realize the reality of that on the Day of Judgment, because you don't feel it. It's hard to perceive infinity. If you close your eyes and you think really hard and you try to perceive, let's take this world. Try to perceive infinity. Try to think all the way as far as all the planets, all the galaxies, all the stars going all the way back. Try to imagine infinity in your mind. You can't. Your mind cannot do it because you're limited. No matter how hard you try, you can't do it. So we're only going to realize it when we get into it. And it's a completely different reality. And that's the problem that we have. The problem that we have is when we know this is true, we keep forgetting. And we get distracted. And we're so easily distracted. And one of the things one of the epidemics that we have today is we live in a distraction culture. Everything is about distraction. You're driving down the freeway, and you get distracted by billboards. And half of them coming to LA you shouldn't be looking at in the first place, right? You lose some Quran, you lose other things. It's a problem. And then you have your phone. And your phone, every single person that messages you, you get distracted. And if you have a smartwatch like I do, you get even more distracted because it's on your wrist now shaking, right? Sometimes you need it for work, but otherwise, it's a distraction. And we live in that culture, and that's why the average person today, they unlock their phones over 80 times a day. That's the average person. I didn't say the average millennial, okay? So the average person under the age of 25 is probably times 3, right? So some of us are guilty of that. And we get distracted all the time. And the thing is, whenever we get distracted, we're getting distracted away from this reality that every single time when we need to think and we need to focus, we need to realize that this life is temporary. And we get distracted away from that. And that's why if you open the Quran, if you just open to a random page of the Quran, if you look at that page or the page before or the page after, most likely there's going to be something about the akhirah, about the afterlife, about Jannah, about Jahannam is going to be there, about paradise or hell. It's everywhere throughout the entire Quran because we easily get distracted away from that, and we need to be reminded of that. And that is extremely important because reminders, they help you to focus on what you should be focusing on. And the details are mentioned in the Quran as well, about the details of a hellfire and the details of paradise. Why? Because the more details you have, this is proven by psychology, the more details you have about an event, the more you're going to remember that specific thing. The more, intricate details, that's why the stories that you read, stories which have a lot of details, Ali, he was a young guy, he was a little heavy set, his eyebrows were a little bit, protruding, his mouth was round, he had a nose, he spoke like this, he had a little hunch over. You give a detailed description, you're going to remember that. If you just say, there was a guy named Ali and he did something, You're not going to remember those details. That's just the way human beings are. So what we need to understand is when we look at the descriptions of hellfire and paradise, it actually is supposed to help us remember our ultimate destination, and it's supposed to remember the temporary nature of this world. So let's look at the description, starting with hellfire. When we look at hellfire, the first thing we think of fire, right? When we think of hellfire, we think of fire. And when we think of fire, we think of the fire that we're used to. We think of the fire that we see. So when someone lights a lighter, we look at that fire and we go, that's a flame, that's fire. When you go to a beach bonfire, and you throw in, whatever, some logs or something like that, you grill some halal marshmallows or whatever, you have that pit and there's fire there. And you look at that fire and you think that's really hot when you go near it. Nobody would want to put their hand in the fire. Right? No matter how tough you think you are, no matter how hard of a person you think you are, and all the hip-hop you listen to, I'm bad, I'm tough, and all that, no one, I dare you, no one would put their hand in the fire for 10 seconds. Try it. Try a gang initiation or something like that. They're not going to do it. Like, I'd rather I get beat up, I can go steal something, I can go to jail, but I ain't putting my hand in the fire for even 10 seconds. No one's going to do it and just hold it, right? Because it's going to harm you, and it's a scary thought. That's what we think of when we think of hellfire. But what did the Prophet ﷺ say about that specifically? He said to the Sahaba, he said to his companions, he says, your fire, meaning the fire that you see in this world, it's only one part of 70 parts of the fire of Jahannam. It's 1 out of 70 in terms of the intensity and the effects that it actually has. So the effects that we see, where it's going to burn you, it's going to melt your skin, it's going to leave a bunch of scarring, it's going to be burning in terms of pain. It says that's only 1 out of 70 that you experience. This is a hadith in Bukhari. And one of the Sahaba, he asked a question. He said, Messenger of Allah, says, this fire in our world, in our dunya, it's sufficient. Like, it's enough to scare us. We don't need more than that. We're already scared of fire in this life, enough as it is. And the Prophet ﷺ, he said that to emphasize the point, said the fire of Jahannam is going to have 69 parts or 69 degrees of intensity more than this ordinary fire. And every part or every degree of intensity is going to be hotter than this actual worldly fire that we experience. So basically, he's trying to explain that if you think you're scared by the fire that exists in this world, the hellfire is something on a totally different level you can't even imagine. It goes above and beyond all of that. And then the Prophet ﷺ, he said in another thing, he said that hellfire is going to be brought forth on the Day of Judgment. So people are standing there, and they're waiting to be judged. You and I, we're going to be standing there, and we're going to be held accountable, and all our life record is going to be presented in front of us. Everything we did, like a flashback. It's going to say, this is exactly what you did. You think the NSA is recording you? I mean, they are. But you think, besides that, you think that, they're going to go and play the tapes and they're going to see everything you're doing. No, this is every single thought, every single hidden thing, every single thing that no one else even could trace or knew what was going on, that's going to come back. And it's going to be replayed, and you're going to be held accountable in front of that. While that's happening and people are lining up and they're sweating and all of that stuff, what's going to happen is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to cause hellfire to be brought forth. So the Prophet ﷺ says hellfire will be brought forth on the Day of Judgment with 70,000 chains. Each chain is being pulled by 70,000 angels. This is a hadith in Sahih Muslim. So you say, what does that mean exactly? Like, what does that mean, 70,000? 70,000 is a number which means a lot. In the 100,000s or in the millions. So what does that mean that hellfire is being brought forward so that people can see it? So these chains that we're talking about are like leashes. So I want you to think about a wild animal. Like, think about like a monster. Like, this crazy monster that's going to go and like trying to devour everyone. Someone chains it down or leashes it down with a bunch of chains, and people need to hold it down, and it's just ravaging. It's ready to go and just devour everyone and just tyrannize everyone, just terrorize the entire population. So imagine that, and it's got all the scary teeth and all that stuff, and people are trying to hold it down, he's saying, the Prophet ﷺ is saying, that hellfire, it's like that savage, wild animal monster that's trying to just devour everyone. And you can't even keep it in check. You need to have all these leashes and chains. People need to hold it down because it's just like a wild dog just ready to go and just jump on everyone else. What that means is that it's been created that way by Allah. It's been created to go and try and grab as many people as possible that are deserving of that. So that should be something that really scares us. Because it's not just like hellfire is just this thing that just sits there and then, Allah's going to put us in there. This thing is coming after you, right? It's been designed that way. It's going to come after you and you're going to see it coming and it's going to try and grab everyone into it. So you don't just get thrown into it. It comes and grabs you and it devours you. That's the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created it, and that's the way the Prophet is describing it. And then this is in the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, إِذَا رَأَتْهُم مِّن مَّكَانٍ بَعِيدٍ سَمِعُوا لَهَا تَغَيُّظًا وَزَفِيرًا. He says, when the hellfire sees them from a distance, when it sees these people who are deserving of it, and it sees them from far away, they can hear the fury, they can hear the anger and the rage and the roaring. It's going to be like roaring like a monster from a distance. So they know that it's coming for them. Now, that's a scary thought when you think about that. It's not just sitting there, you're going to wait for it and you're going to look at it from far away. It's on its way to come and devour you. So that's what people are going to experience. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِذَا أُلْقُوا فِيهَا سَمِعُوا لَهَا شَهِيقًا وَهِيَ تَفُورُ. He says, when they're thrown into it, when it comes closer and then they get thrown into it, they're going to hear a dreadful inhaling while it boils up. So think about this. There's this fire. And when people go into it, it's going to make this sound of inhaling. It's going to be like a... When people go inside of it, it's going to swallow them up and it's going to make like this sucking sound because it's like a monster devouring people. And it's boiling at the same time. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, تَكَادُ تَمَيَّزُ مِنَ الْغَيْظِ. And it says it almost bursts apart with rage. It's like this furious monster that's coming to devour people. And that's how the hellfire is being described. So if the fire burning someone wasn't sufficient, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet ﷺ, they describe hellfire as something that's on the hunt to go and suck up and grab as many people as possible. So this is the fire. And there's many names that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has described the hellfire of. The first and most common name is Jahannam. Most of us know that name. Jahannam refers to hellfire. It's mentioned in the Quran about 77 times, maybe a few more. And what Jahannam actually means linguistically, it means something with a scary face, and it also means a type of darkness that exists. So what does that mean, a darkness? The darkness is like when you're all alone, and you don't know where you are, and it's dark, and you can't see a thing, it's pitch black, and you don't know what's around you. And you just get that feeling that, I wish someone else was here. I don't want to be alone in this pitch black darkness. I just want to get out of this. And people have that experience, at least once in their life. That's what Jahannam is going to be like. It's going to be this feeling that I just want to get out of this place. I don't feel comfortable here. I wish someone else was here, but you don't get out of that feeling. You're stuck in that feeling. There's nothing you can do about it. And the second most common name for Jahannam is Jahim. It's been used about 23 times in the Quran. And Jahim has two meanings. The first meaning is something that's been kindled. It's a fire that's been lit up. And the second meaning is it's like a deadly stare. When something stares at you like a lion, when a lion comes and stares at its prey, and like stares it down. Like if someone stares you down, they're about to beat you up. The lion comes and stares you down, it's about to eat you. Right? So the staring down is also the name of the same thing, Jahim. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes the fire like that because it's going to come and hunt people. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَبُرِّزَتِ الْجَحِيمُ لِلْغَاوِينَ. The word Jahim is there. And hellfire will be brought forth for the people who deviated from the path. Meaning they went away from the straight path, the Sirat al-Mustaqim. So the next time, when you think about these descriptions, the next time you get a whisper, shaitan whispers something to you, just sleep a few more minutes. You can pray Fajr after the time is over. It's not a big deal. Think about that. Hellfire is there waiting for you. It's staring you down, just waiting to grab you. Because that's what's going to happen if you keep on disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Next time you think about doing something you shouldn't be doing, you think about lying, you think about gossiping, you think about backbiting, think about what Jahim is actually doing. It's waiting for you. It's literally waiting to grab you. So that's another name for the Jahannam. Now, there's another description. There's many descriptions, but I'll just mention a few. Another description is the word al-hutama. Al-hutama means to crush something or mash it into pieces. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and a lot of us have this surah memorized, it says, كَلَّا لَيُنْبَذَنَّ فِي الْحُطَمَةِ. He says that no, this person, the person who's deserving of this, will surely be thrown into al-hutama, the crusher, the thing which will crush you. And then it says, and what can make you understand what hutama is? It says, Narullahi al-muqada, the fire of Allah that has been fueled and kindled. So what does that mean? It means that when someone is thrown into the hellfire, they're literally going to be crushed. Like if you've ever, seen one of these gangster movies or something like that, see like sometimes people have a very, vicious way of punishing people. They take a meat grinder and they throw them into a meat grinder and they literally get ground like ground beef. So that type of crushing, that type of getting smashed is exactly what's going to happen to people in Jahannam. When they get thrown in there, they're going to get crushed, they're going to get smashed. And that's just something that's waiting for you. It's waiting to come and it's waiting to smash you, to crush you, to burn you, to grab you. And all of this description is there to remind us that we don't want to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at all. That should be the take-home message. The more we think about this, the more we imagine, we're afraid to get a paper cut. I mean, people are afraid to just, have their foot stepped on. People are afraid of the smallest little things. We're afraid to even put our hand into a fire. Imagine what this is going to be like. So it's a very simple thing, but it needs constant reminder. When you think, I can, it's not a big deal. I'll, do this one thing. I'll send this text message to, this girl, or I'll respond to this guy who's trying to hit on me, or all of these things which we know we're not supposed to be doing. You think about this, you say, man, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from the hellfire. Let's talk about paradise briefly. How much time we have? Paradise is like Jahannam. Paradise is like the hellfire in the sense that we cannot see it right now, but we have certain descriptions. But paradise is something that's so amazing we cannot even imagine what it's going to be like. When it comes to hellfire, we can kind of have a little bit more perception. We're afraid of all these things. When it comes to the amount of pleasure, the amount of, just joy and happiness we're going to get in paradise, it's not something that we can ever imagine. But one of the greatest things about paradise is that it's not just what you get, it's what you don't get. You don't get sadness. You don't get difficulties. You don't get pain. No one annoys you, basically. If you think about, a lot of us, we get annoyed with small things, we get annoyed with big things, people say things. You just don't want to deal with all these hassles. All the hassles are gone. Like that would have been enough. If paradise even didn't have any benefits, just not having all this negative stuff would just be amazing. It would be sufficient. But alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us even more. But before we talk about paradise, let's talk about how we can earn paradise. How can we actually make it to paradise? We have to understand this very well. Because when we get to the descriptions of paradise, we're going to be like, this is so amazing if we have something like this. But what do we do to deserve something like that? You can't really earn it. So the Prophet ﷺ, he said, none of you is going to be saved, meaning get into paradise and saved from the fire because of their deeds. No one's going to be saved because of their deeds. So the Sahaba were there, the companions, and they asked, Messenger of Allah, not even you? Like, you're the Messenger of Allah, you're the best of creation. And he said, not even me, unless Allah bestows His mercy upon me, unless Allah encompasses mercy for me. What does that mean? That means that if you look at what you're earning, right, what you're going to get in paradise, it's not something that you necessarily deserve. Right? The way you're going to get there, I mean, if you do mashallah, you give some money in charity, okay, and then you're going to get back a giant mansion and a palace, it's not equal, right? You sacrifice this little tiny thing, and you're going to get this huge award. You don't technically deserve it. The only way you can deserve something like that is if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mercy on you and kind of says, you know what? We're going to let all the other things slide, and we're going to take what you did, we're going to multiply it manifold. And that's exactly what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does. Otherwise, no one's going to be worthy of actually getting paradise. So when we see paradise, when we understand that, in order to get there, we're going to get it through the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'll hold it, inshallah. May Allah reward you. Inshallah. So what's going to happen is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about this, and He says paradise is going to be brought near to the righteous people, and it's not going to be far away. So imagine the same scenario. People are being judged. The hellfire is coming like this monster, ready to devour people, and you can hear it from far away. But then when the people who are going to enter paradise, they're going to look the other way, and they're going to see Jannah there. And when you see Jannah, you're just going to look at it, and you're just going to say like, SubhanAllah, it's the most amazing thing ever. But what's even more amazing in this verse of the Quran is that Jannah is going to be brought near. So imagine you see this place and you want to go there, and you're like, I'm ready to go. Before you can even go, it starts slowly coming to you. You don't even need to go to it. It's going to actually come to you, and it's just like, you're basically, without even having to put any effort, you're going to be inside of it. This is the beauty of paradise. And then the Prophet ﷺ described paradise. And this is one of the most important principles to understand paradise. The Prophet ﷺ says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I have prepared for my righteous slaves that which no eye has ever seen, no ear has ever heard, and something that has never even crossed the mind of any human being. It's something that no one has ever even thought of. So every description of paradise is just going to be this very far reflection of what paradise is going to be. It's like an approximation, but it's quite far from what the real paradise is going to be. So all the descriptions of paradise, in summary, without going through each and every single verse, is there's going to be gardens, there's going to be fruits, there's going to be palaces, there's going to be drinks, there's going to be trees, there's going to be rivers. All of these things, and a lot of this is greenery, and a lot of this is like awesome palaces and castles and things like that. Just amazing things to live, mansions. Now, when you think about that, we're told in this life to not be materialistic. Right? We're told not to be excessively materialistic. Don't think about too much about material pleasures and all that. But Jannah, everything about Jannah is about material pleasures. Everything is about, you're going to get all of this, right? And one of the reasons to not be materialistic in this life is because when you get attached to it and you get stuck on it, it's going to make you forget where your ultimate destination is, and then you're not going to get to the place where you actually wanted to get. So if you want to be materialistic, but be materialistic with the highest standards. Forget Beverly Hills. Forget Versace and Dolce & Gabbana and getting Ferraris and this new Tesla Roadster that's going to come out in 1.9 seconds, 0 to 60 at 1.8 or whatever it is. Forget that. You don't need to, if you can afford it, alhamdulillah. If it's like spare change for you, donate a lot of money to the masjid, Islamic universities and all that, and then go buy a Tesla Roadster. No problem, alhamdulillah. But if you don't have the money, don't sit there dreaming about, I wish I had this, this is what I want. Hey, dream bigger than that. Why are you gonna settle for that little thing? You get 0 to 60 in a microsecond in Jannah, a nanosecond. You can get thrills of more than you'd ever get in this world. So aim higher for that, and that's exactly what Jannah is giving you. It's giving you something that's better, and it's giving you something that is everlasting. It's infinitely better, and it's infinitely lasting. Whereas this dunya is temporary, it's limited, and compared to what you're going to get in Jannah, it's nothing. It's really nothing. But if you look at the descriptions of Jannah, we get an approximation of things that people normally like in this world. And that's part of the problem that we have. Part of the problem with our society today is that we're so far detached from reality and from nature and from just being a normal human being that we don't appreciate these things. So I know a lot of people, and I'm telling you, I was in the same boat. When I used to read initially, like, Jannah is going to be like, you're going to get gardens, you're going to get trees, you're going to get rivers. Like, for me, I'm like, this doesn't seem that great. What's like, I'm not really into trees. Now I am, alhamdulillah. But at that time, I was not, right? Now, like, I value this more. But like back, when I was a teenager, and I was like, I was in a different mode, right? Sci-fi and all that stuff. So for me, that's not Jannah, right? Jannah is like something like the Jetsons, when you're like, you're like in a sky city or something like that. That would be cool for me, right? So we're so detached from reality, we can't even benefit from the things we see around us. But the average human being, like a normal human being that's not in this, you can love all that stuff, that's great. The average human being, think about what is the most expensive property, what's the most expensive type of property generally in most parts of the world? Beachfront, oceanfront, beachfront property. Why? Because there's something about the water. Right? There's something about being in that part of nature that makes it special. Why do people like to go into the forest and go camping and see the greenery and all of that? Because it's supposed to relax you. What they say about people, they go to people in different companies today. They go to like big corporations and they say your employees are getting stressed out, they're getting overworked. Okay, one of the things you can do is you can redecorate and remodel their office so that they have more windows, they have more space so they can look outside and see nature, and put some like plants and greenery and stuff, and they're gonna feel a little bit more calm. Put like a little tiny those little waterfalls or something like that, kind of recycles and stuff. Put all of that stuff, and they're gonna feel like calm and a little bit better. Why? Because that's actually in people's nature. When they go and they experience these things, they feel good. So what's being told to us about Jannah, about paradise, is we're being called to things which are actually in the nature of people. If your nature has not been corrupted, you look at these things and you say, this is comfort. This is relaxing. This is like that island atmosphere that people want to just sit back, relax, and just enjoy everything. That's exactly what Jannah is going to be like. It's going to have the gardens, it's going to have the greenery. It's going to have, palaces, luxury. It's going to have trees. It's going to have rivers flowing, just serenity. Listening to it actually is supposed to calm you down, right? Listening to heavy metal music, if that's what calms you down, unfortunately, sorry to tell you, but you've gone away from like the nature of human beings. Some people have become addicted to that, unfortunately. You need to have like, I went through this phase, I'm telling you. I started with music like 120 beats, went up to 140 beats per minute, then it goes up to 140, happy hardcore to 180, which is considered to be a different style called gabber, and then you go to 220. Once you listen to 220 beats per minute sound, you cannot listen to any other type of music. It's boring. There's like a ringing in your noise, like a noise ringing in your ears. And if you try and just have a normal conversation with someone, you can't focus. You need to hear that again because your mind has been so addicted to that type of music and that type of speed, everything else just looks boring and slow. I'm telling you this because I've experienced it, and it affects the way in which we crave and desire Jannah. If our nature has gone away from the natural way, what it's supposed to be, the way that Allah created it to be normally, then these things may not be as motivating, unfortunately. But we need to try and undo that if that's what's happening with you. You need to realize there's a problem there. You need to try and readjust. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that you're going to get fruits. Right? And people are like, I don't like fruit. I don't like vegetables. I wish there was pizza. I want pizza, and I want ice cream, and I want kebabs. The thing is, fruits represent something which has sugar in it. People love sugar. It's natural sugar. It's not high fructose corn syrup. Right? It's natural sugar. It's sweet. And average people, they don't have access to all these other, drug foods and all that. Fruits are sweet. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes the fruits. He says that you're going to get, people are going to be asked in Jannah. One of the first descriptions of Jannah in the Quran, it's like verse, where is it? Somewhere like verse 25 of Surah Al-Baqarah. Open the Quran, after Fatiha comes Baqarah. The 25th verse is one of the first descriptions of Jannah. And one of the descriptions, the first descriptions we find in the Quran when we read it, it says that the people of paradise, they're going to be given fruits, they're going to be given things, and they're going to say, well, this is what we got before. Meaning like, we were just given this fruit before. And that hints to something very important. It hints to how human beings and how their nature is. Like, you can be given the best tasting fruit that you can imagine. It's like the sweetest thing ever. And after you have it a few times, be like, it's kind of getting old now. Wish it was something different. I've gotten used to it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says they're going to be given things with the shabih, meaning they're similar, they look similar, but they taste entirely different. So you're not going to get the same thing again. You're getting the same thing, it looks the same, but it's actually a completely different taste. And that's what's amazing about it. So imagine that. You will be in a state where you're never going to get bored with anything that you're being given in Jannah. And that's the thing about this dunya. The thing about this dunya is that whatever you get, you start getting bored after a while. It just kind of starts to go downhill. How many of you heard of this rapper named Loon? Anyone heard of this guy? He accepted Islam. He was a rapper. He used to be with Puff Daddy. So we did an interview with him. And one thing he mentioned, I'll wrap this up in a few minutes. One of the things he mentioned, he says, before Islam, when I used to get stressed out, and he had a lot of money, I used to get stressed out, I used to go buy myself a new car. He could buy himself like a BMW sports car. And he'd come and he says, I drive it around for like a week and I'd be happy. And then I'd just be sad again. It didn't do anything for me. So I'd go buy another car. He'd go buy himself another car. And he says, it made me happy for a little while. And then it just kind of wears off. The excitement and stuff, it just wears off. And that's the thing about this dunya. No matter what you get that Tesla Roadster, you can get the $20 million mansion, it's going to wear off. You can get the, whatever, $1 million purse or whatever. I'm trying to cater to sisters too, right? You don't care about Tesla maybe, right? Whatever you get, it's going to wear off. The excitement is going to wear off after a while. And in Jannah, none of that wears off. It just continues, and it lasts, and it lasts, and it lasts, and it just continues non-stop. So those are some of the pleasures that we're going to get in Jannah that we cannot even imagine. And again, the last thing is that the best thing, like for me, that really motivates me for Jannah is that negativity being gone. I mean, these pleasures are amazing. But just the negativity being gone, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that when people enter Jannah, or the Prophet ﷺ said that when people get into Jannah, they're not going to have any hatred. They're not going to have anything in their heart against each other, and their hearts are going to be like one. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says when they enter into Jannah, Allah will remove whatever's in their heart of any type of resentment. So they're going to become brothers, and they're going to be brothers and sisters, and they're just going to be relaxing. Everyone's going to be happy. Imagine no jealousy, right? No gossip, no one criticizing you, no one making fun of you, no one using foul language. Everything's just going to be just the perfect way that it possibly can be. And that is the best thing about Jannah, I think. They're both amazing. You get both, which is amazing. So when you think about Jannah, this is the place where we want to be. So the next time, when we think about Jahannam, we think about Jannah, the next time you think about doing something which is going to be sinful, which is going to be going against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whether it's missing a prayer, whether it's dropping an F-bomb, whether it's going and making fun of someone else's clothing, whether it's going and, disrespecting your parents, going to your parents and saying, I'm sick and tired of you, don't tell me what to do, and speaking to them in a rude manner, whether it's beating up on your younger brother or younger sister, whether it's going and insulting your teachers, whether it's, any one of these things. You think about Jannah, what you want, and you think about Jahannam, what you want to avoid, and this should motivate you. And you got to keep reminding yourself and reminding each other, which is inshallah what you're going to do in the rest of this Qiyam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us to enter into paradise. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on us. May Allah protect us from the fire of Jahannam. May Allah not allow us to even touch or come near that fire, even for a moment or for a second. O Allah, forgive us for our sins. O Allah, reward us for all the good deeds that we do. O Allah, grant sincerity in our hearts. O Allah, bless this community and bless all the people in it. Ameen. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, nastaghfirukallah wa natubu ilayk. Jazakallah khairan.
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh, for the beautiful talk. Inshallah, I want to take a few questions that you guys may have, and he's willing to answer, inshallah. So anything regarding Jannah, Jahannam, technical, abstract, whatever it may be, you have the mic, as they say. Brother in the back, yes.
Alhamdulillah. The brother is asking about seeing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Jannah and how this is going to be considered to be the best thing that we can possibly have. And that's true. The best thing that we can, one of the best aspects of Jannah is being able to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We don't know exactly what that's going to be like, but we're being told that this is going to be an experience that is unlike any other luxury that you can ever experience. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us that, inshallah. Any other questions? Sister in the back? No? No.
I think it's pretty clear then what Jannah and Jahannam are, inshallah. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair. Inshallah, we'll be moving to our Qiyam little session with Sheikh Ahmed Umarji. So if you guys can line up, inshallah, we'll try to fill up the first rows. Sisters in the back, inshallah, if you can line up as well, we'll get started.
الله أكبر الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين ألم تروا أن الله سخر لكم ما والبحر يمده من بعده سبعة أبحر ما نفدت كلمات الله إن الله عزيز حكيم ما خلقكم ولا بعثكم إلا كنفس واحدة إن الله سميع بصير ألم تر أن الله يولج الليل في النهار ويولج النهار في الليل وسخر الشمس والقمر وأن الله بما تعملون خبير ذلك بأن الله هو الحق وأن ما يدعون من دونه الباطل وأن الله هو العلي الكبير ألم تر أن الفلك تجري في البحر بنعمة الله ليريكم من آياته إن في ذلك لآيات لكل صبار شكور وإذا غشيهم موج كالظلل دعوا الله مخلصين له الدين فلما نجاهم إلى البر فمنهم مقتصد وما يجحد بآياتنا إلا كل ختار كفور يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم واخشوا يوما لا يجزي والد عن ولده ولا مولود هو جاز عن والده شيئا إن وعد الله حق فلا تغرنكم بالله الغرور إن الله عنده علم الساعة وينزل الغيث ويعلم ما في الأرحام وما تدري نفس ماذا تكسب غدا وما تدري نفس بأي أرض تموت إن الله عليم خبير الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين يسأل أيان يوم القيامة فإذا برق البصر وخسف القمر وجمع الشمس والقمر يقول الإنسان يومئذ أين المفر كلا لا وزر إلى ربك يومئذ المستقر ينبأ الإنسان يومئذ بما قدم وأخر بل الإنسان على نفسه بصيرة ولو ألقى معاذيره لا تحرك به لسانك لتعجل به إن علينا جمعه وقرآنه فإذا قرأناه فاتبع قرآنه ثم إن علينا بيانه كلا بل تحبون العاجلة وتذرون الآخرة وجوه يومئذ ناظرة إلى ربها ناظرة ووجوه يومئذ باصرة تظن أن يفعل بها فاقرة كلا إذا بلغت التراقي وقيل من راق وظن أنه الفراق والتفت الساق بالساق إلى ربك يومئذ المساق فلا صدق ولا صلى ولكن كذب وتولى ثم ذهب إلى أهله يتمطى أولى لك فأولى ثم أولى لك فأولى أيحسب الإنسان أن يترك سدى الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله
All right, inshallah, we'll be moving on to our second part of the Qiyam tonight. This part is regarding death and the Day of Judgment. So death and the Day of Judgment, just a quick precursor to what Imam Tahir is going to talk about. They say, there's a saying that goes, 3 things go to your graveyard. 3 things go to your graveyard: your family, your possessions, and yourself. And 2 of those things come back, and 1 stays at the graveyard. Your possessions and your family come back. You may have been driven to your janazah in the car that you bought, but that car will no longer last with you to the next life. And everything will come back, but you will be left there. And from then on, we don't know, subhanAllah, what will happen to us. So we pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the best in the hereafter. Sheikh Tahir Patel will be explaining this. I ask that you guys please try to stay inside as much as you can, because we'll be moving on quickly throughout the night to different portions of the Qiyam. Just a quick summary for Sheikh Tahir Patel. He doesn't want a bio, but what I will say, alhamdulillah, is he is currently a teacher at this Institute of Knowledge in Diamond Bar, California, very well-renowned university here on the West Coast for Islamic studies. So we pray that inshallah we can benefit from his message. Without further ado, Sheikh Tahir Patel.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين، أما بعد. فقد قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. كل نفس ذائقة الموت وإنما توفون أجوركم يوم القيامة فمن زحزح عن النار وأدخل الجنة فقد فاز وما الحياة الدنيا إلا متاع الغرور. صدق الله العظيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers and sisters, Jazakallah khairan for having me here today. Jazakallah to all the brothers, mashallah, for sacrificing fortnight for the night. Alhamdulillah, you are with us here today, inshallah. We'll take something back with us. A brother asked a question just before the Qiyam took place about the ru'ya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That one of the greatest blessings that a person will receive in Jannah will be to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be asked to the inhabitants of paradise. The people in paradise will actually be asked, do you want anything else? Do you want something? Do you want anything else? And they will say, Ya Allah, haven't you saved us from the hellfire? Haven't you brightened our faces and given us all these blessings? They're going to say, Ya Allah, we have everything that we needed, that we want. And then they will be shown Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the veil will be removed, and when people will see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there will be no greater blessing than the ru'ya and the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's just a huge thing. Just wanted to touch upon that. Jazakallah khairan to Shaykh Ahmed Umarji, who just led the 2 rak'ahs of Qiyam. He mentioned it in there. وُجُوهٌ يَوْمَئِذٍ نَاظِرَةٌ إِلَىٰ رَبِّهَا نَاظِرَةٌ. That there will be faces on in Jannah that will be bright and blooming and radiant, looking at Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just gazing at Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when they return home, their faces are going to be even more beautiful. And they'll be asked, what happened? What happened? How come your face, how come you're different? And that's what it will be, that they have seen Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's not my topic. I'm taking you back. Alhamdulillah. We go to parties or da'wats or social events, gatherings like these, and there is a topic that we don't like to talk about, and that's death. Nobody likes to talk about death. Stop being a buzzkill, killjoy, Debbie Downer, whatever you want to say. Don't be all these things. Why do you want to talk about such a downer subject? Why do you want to talk about this? But the fact is that it is a reality. The most definite thing about your life is that you will one day die. And the most indefinite thing about your life is when you will die. Nobody knows. وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ مَاذَا تَكْسِبُ غَدًا وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ بِأَيِّ أَرْضٍ تَمُوتُ. No soul knows where they're going to be taken away from. Nobody knows what part of the earth they're going to pass away from. The sister that was studying in Texas from Pakistan, young sister, in the shooting that just happened recently. Not in her dreams, she might have been thought that I'm going to be taken away from here. But she was in Pakistan and she passed away over here in Texas. These kind of things happen time and time again. So inshallah, we're going to go through it. I've prepared this whole thing. I still have a computer in front of me. But I realize we're short of time, so I'm going to try to get through it as swiftly as possible. What is death? Death is the termination of one's life on this planet. The moment Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decreed that now your time on this earth is over, it's time to go. There is no religious group, or there is no group on earth that denies death. The atheists won't say, oh no, no such thing as death. Everybody agrees that there is something called death, that you will have to leave this world. Everybody agrees. The only thing that they disagree on, everybody goes in their own ways after this, everybody goes their own little paths after this, is what happens after death. Somebody says, oh, if you were a good person, your soul is going to go into some good thing or good animal, you'll be reincarnated, or somebody will say you'll go over here, eternal kingdom, this, that, whatever it is. Everybody just, they differ when it comes to this. We've been taught and we've been told by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, عَلَّمَ الْإِنسَانَ مَا لَمْ يَعْلَمْ. We didn't know what was going to happen to us. We didn't know. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't just leave us hanging around over here. He actually taught us and He actually educated us that when you die, this is what happens, this is where you will go. You will go through these steps. Why is death a thing? Why do we have to die? Well, this is just the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created His system. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the different things, and I'm going to ask Shaykh Ahmad afterwards why he didn't finish the surah off. Allah talks about the way He created the human being. He talks about the different steps of how He created the human being. Any 10-year-olds over here? Or younger? 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds? Please raise your hand. 10, 12, mashallah. Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the different steps of how a human being is created. And then there comes a time where Allah says that then we give you life so that you can reach your maturity. ثُمَّ لِتَبْلُغُوا أَشُدَّكُمْ ثُمَّ لِتَكُونُوا شُيُوخًا. Then you can reach an elderly age. And for some of you, you pass away before that. Some of you don't reach your full maturity. You don't reach your prime. You don't reach your old age. Some of you pass away before that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about these steps. And in the akhirah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that we will take you back. We will take you and we will bring you back to life. And that is actually one of the articles of faith that we have. That there is such a thing as وَالْبَعْثِ بَعْدَ الْمَوْتِ. There is a rising. There is resurrection after death. So this is a system of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you're born, you go through life, you pass away, and then, just like there are steps for this world, there are steps for the hereafter as well. And the first step for the hereafter is death. That's the first step of the akhirah, the first stage of the hereafter, that you have to die. Where will death take place? That's another question. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes mention of this, أَيْنَمَا تَكُونُوا يُدْرِكُمُ الْمَوْتُ وَلَوْ كُنْتُمْ فِي بُرُوجٍ مُشَيَّدَةٍ. Wherever you may be, death will overtake you, even though you may be in some sort of lofty construction, some sort of lofty tower or castle. Anywhere you might be, in a fortified fort, death will overtake you. Death will come and take you. Some people you will see, they die in the best of places. They're in the haram, they're in sajda, and they pass away. Others you see, they're at a club, they're dancing their life away. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has their moment at that place, and they're taken away. We have to take a lesson from that. When we hear about these things, that so-and-so people were in a club, they're dancing away, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destined for them to be taken at that moment. Do I want to be in that place? When my life is taken, when my life comes to an end, do I want to be in that place? So that's the thing. Where will a person die? When will a person die? Nobody knows. Like I said, it is the most indefinite thing about your life, when you will die. وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ بِأَيِّ أَرْضٍ تَمُوتُ. No soul knows, nobody knows when a person will die. How will a person die? That's another question. How will a person die? تَمُوتُونَ كَمَا تُحْيُونَ. A person generally dies the way they live their life. That's the way a person generally dies. A person who lived their life in the disobedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is very, very far-fetched. It's not impossible, but it is very, very far-fetched that they will be in Makkah al-Mukarramah, and they will be in the state of sajda on the 27th night or whatever, the Qiyam, the Laylatul Qadr night, and they'll pass away in sajda, with tears in their eyes. Very, very far-fetched. It's not impossible, though. So a person has to think that, generally speaking, the way I live my life, that's the way I will go from this world. The angel of death comes. The angel of death, there are many descriptions we can read into this. That when a person lived a good life, they lived a life in accordance to the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, then the angel of death, he comes in a very, very beautiful appearance. And with him are very, very beautiful angels. And everything's really, really nice. And there's nice smells and fragrances and very, very good scenery happening over there. And that person's soul is taken. And some have described it like water flowing out from a cup. That the soul comes out of a person that easily. Very, very easily, the angels come to receive the soul of this person who was good. And they give glad tidings to this person, and just like a mother who's comforting her child with toys and keeping him distracted, these angels are around this person, and he's just amazed by beautiful angels and this beautiful scenery and this nice smell and everything, and his soul is taken, and is taken to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. On the flip side, a person who lived a terrible life, and of course this isn't meant to scare anybody. Inshallah, you don't go home and have any nightmares. This is there to motivate us. We have to know these things in order to motivate us. That I want to live my life so that when I pass away, I'm in a good state. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from those kind of people. Person who lived a bad life, angels come in an extremely scary way. And the soul is ripped out of this person, and this person is going through a lot of pain. I will tell you a story, a personal story. I actually knew this person. We were classmates in the 7th, or in the 8th grade, in the 9th grade, in the 10th grade, I believe. I was in England. People used to bully him here and there. He eventually left the boarding school. I was in a boarding school. He eventually left, and he had this dream of becoming a model. He actually became a model for Next, as a store over there in England. Then he became a flight attendant. And he had a Facebook. He added all these people that he used to be with in the madrasa, myself included. He became a flight attendant, and we would always pray for him that he would, somehow stay connected to the deen, stay connected somehow. But he started traveling, and as flight attendants do, they fly everywhere, exotic locations. He would post pictures of himself with these girls he's clubbing with, drinking away, exotic locations. So many things. He was working for Emirates. One time he was in Dubai, he went jet skiing. And he got into an accident. Somebody crashed right into him on a jet ski. He died. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. But the thing was, till today, his Facebook is still active. And every single year, on his birthday, Random girls are commenting, random women across the world are commenting, oh, we miss you so much, our good times, our this, and we did this, and we did that. We miss you so much, hope you're looking down on us, smiling, so on and so forth. Imagine that. A legacy left behind for the whole world to see after he has gone. It's been years. I tried to contact his family to get them to shut down his Facebook, but there's no way they can get into it. His sister or whoever, they tried, they could not get into it. It's still there till today. And every year his birthday comes around, I feel this pain and I pray for him. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy upon him. Moving on. When a person passes away, so now we have death. The soul is taken, a person goes into the grave. This is the transition. A person goes into a different realm called the barzakh. It is the middle realm between this life and the hereafter. It's called the barzakh. Alam al-barzakh. Right, it's right in the middle. In the grave, angels come. Two angels, Munkar and Nakir, they come, they question him. Who was your Lord? Who is your Lord? What was your religion? What do you say about this person? A person answers these things, everything else after the stage becomes easy. If a person is unable to answer, they're having a really hard time. The grave squeezes this person, there is punishment in the grave. If a person was righteous, they did a'mal. Again, actions, righteous actions. They come to defend this person from all sides. Salah that you prayed, the Quran that you prayed, the Qiyam that we just did. Everything that you do, the good deeds that you do, they come to protect the person in the grave from the punishments of the grave. The grave, the period of the grave depends on how that person was in this world. If you pass this stage, inshallah, everything after that is going to be easy. It's like Uthman radiallahu anhu used to cry when he used to see the grave, he used to walk past the grave, he used to cry so much, tears used to be flowing down his beard, and they used to ask him, why are you crying so much? And that was his answer, that this is the first stage. If you pass this stage of the grave, everything else is going to be smooth for you. Let's move on to the Day of Judgment. What is the Day of Judgment? Yawm al-Qiyamah. Qiyamah means standing. The Day of Standing literally means the Day of Standing. When every single person who has ever lived will be brought back to life, their actions and their intentions in this world will be weighed in the balance, and their final abode will be determined. Their final outcome that we just heard, Jannah, Jahannam, will be determined. There are different names for Yawm al-Qiyamah, Yawm al-Hashr, and there's the Sa'ah, and so many different names have been given. Yawm al-Hisab, the Day of Reckoning, accountability, so on and so forth. That is the Day of Judgment. Who is affected by the Day of Judgment? Every single human being, from the time of Adam alayhi salam till the end, jinn and ins. Every single person is going to be affected on the Day of Judgment, because that will be the time where your accountability will take place. Why is there a need for the Day of Judgment? That's another question. And this was something that the polytheists and the kuffar of the idol worshippers of the Prophet ﷺ's time had an objection to. We don't believe in this. We don't believe in that you can come back to life and then there's going to be an accountability. We don't believe in that. That doesn't make sense. And even till today, you'll find people like that. That doesn't make sense to us. Allah asks that question in that Surah Qiyamah, that we're the one who created you in the first place. You were nothing. We created you in the first place. Why is it so far-fetched for us to bring you back to life? We created you when you were nothing. You were non-existent. أَلَيْسَ ذَلِكَ بِقَادٍ عَلَىٰ أَن يُحْيِيَ الْمَوْتَى? Allah asks the question. Is Allah not powerful enough to do that? He made you in the first place. So the mushrikeen had this, the disbelievers had this objection. And so a lot of the surahs that were revealed in Mecca, the Prophet ﷺ, they deal with this concept of akhirah, of Jannah, of Jahannam, of all these things, these iman that we have, the faith that we have in the unseen. All of these things were there to teach these kuffar and to correct their wrong beliefs. A person, you and I, when we spend a day hard working somewhere, we expect to pay at the end of the day, right? We expect to pay. Nobody's going to do a hard day's work at some corporation and then say, all right, peace out, have a good day. No, you're expecting some money. All the education that you are taking on, one day you want it to result into a paycheck, right? The education you are taking on, you want to get a paycheck. So how is it fair that a person spends a lifetime worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, doing good, and then they pass away and it's over? So a person who lived a really, really hard life, a life of poverty. And they were good, and they worshipped Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but they didn't see any comfort in this world. They had some sort of illness, and then they passed away. And then you had another person who was so strong and who was so powerful, and they were oppressive, and they killed, and they were just, they were terrorizing the world. And then they died. Nothing happened to them, they just died. How is that fair? There needs to be a day of accountability. There needs to be a day of judgment. And that is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has kept this. So that a person who comes in the akhirah and says, Ya Allah, this person did this to me, and this, and this, and this, and I was killed. The sister who just passed away in Palestine right now by the sniper. May Allah have mercy on her soul and give her the highest place in Jannah. Who's going to give her? Who's going to give her her justice? That is why there is a need for a day of judgment. When will the day of judgment take place? Jibreel alayhi salam once came in the form, the angel Gabriel, he once came in the form of a human being, and he asked the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to ask him, to inform him. He said, inform me about the hour. Tell me about the hour, meaning the day of judgment, the sa'ah. So the Prophet ﷺ said that the one questioned is not better informed about it than the questioner. Meaning, I don't know any more than you do. I don't know when it's going to take place. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, إِنَّ اللَّهَ عِنْدَهُ عِلْمُ السَّاعَةِ, like the ayah which was recited in the Qiyam right now in Surah Al-Luqman. The knowledge is only with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when the day of judgment takes place. The next question is, how will the day of judgment take place? Now, there's a huge series. We could probably be here all night. What time is my time ending? 15? Okay, so we passed that. We're on day of judgment side. There's a whole long series of things, of events to take place of the day of judgment. How will the day of judgment take place? When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills, and there will be no one left who believes in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is the time when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, let's close this chapter up now. There is not a single believer on this earth anymore. Think about that for 1 second. Every single one of us over here, inshallah, we have this La ilaha illallah resounding in our hearts. Imagine how valuable you are. Imagine how valuable you are. That because of this kalima, La ilaha illallah, this belief in your heart, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is keeping this world running. The day that no believer is remaining on this earth is the day when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, all right, it's time to close this. Close this chapter up now. There will be a morning, people will be engaged in business. After all the believers have passed away. People will be in markets and doing business, and the surah will be blown. There's a trumpet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed in the lips of this angel Israfil alayhi salam. And he's just waiting for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give him this command. وَنُفِخَ فِي الصُّورِ. When he blows this command, when he blows this surah and he obeys this command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this trumpet or this bugle or this horn, then there will be a sound that comes and starts off slowly and softly, and it will get loud gradually to such an extent where people will panic and they will die. Every single person on this planet will die. فَصَعِقَ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ. Every single person will fall down unconscious, they will die. Then Israfil alayhi salam will again blow this horn. There will be a long period in time between these two blowings. But when he blows the second time, then every single human being from the beginning of time till the end of time will be raised again. And that question comes back. How can that be possible? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make this possible. He created you in the first place, and He will bring you back to life. يوم تبدل الأرض غير الأرض والسماوات وبرزوا لله الواحد القهار. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will change this earth, and it will be replaced, and the preparation for the day of judgment will take place. The first thing that will happen is the rising. There will be a rising of the people, of the human beings. And every single person will be taken out from their graves, or wherever they were, they're going to be taken out from their graves, and they will be naked. They will be naked and they will be barefooted. This comes in the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he was telling this to Aisha radiallahu anha. So Aisha radiallahu anha, the wife of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is like, everybody's going to be looking at each other, they're naked. And he said, the matter is going to be much more greater than that. The matter will be too fearful for people to even look at one another. Because just imagine a person, they were in their graves and they're up now. And everybody's so scared because they don't know what's going to happen to them. For the most part. We're going to come to the exceptions in just a second. People who refrained from listening to the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about them, that they're going to be raised blind, they're going to be raised deaf, they're going to be raised without the ability to speak, so on and so forth. Everybody's going to be raised in different ways. Jabir radiallahu anhu narrates that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, every man will be raised in the true man that he died. So whatever way you died, you will be raised in that way. There was an incident at the time of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. A man was in a state of ihram. You know, when you go for Umrah and you put on the two sheets and you say labbaik Allahumma labbaik, you enter the state of ihram, where you can't put on perfume, or you can't kill an insect, or all these different restrictions come upon you. There was a person in the state of ihram, and he got kicked by his animal, and he died. It was a camel who kicked him, and he passed away. So the Prophet ﷺ instructed the companions that bathe him with water and those jujube leaves, and leave him in his own clothes. Leave him in the ihram. Don't use any scent, don't use any perfume, and don't cover his head, because in ihram you cannot cover your head, you cannot put on perfume. For he shall be resurrected on the day of judgment reciting talbiyah. On the day of judgment he's going to be resurrected saying labbaik Allahumma labbaik. He's going to be resurrected like that. So everybody's going to be raised in a way, in a good way or in a bad way, depending on what they did. A person who was an oppressor, a person who was an oppressor, a tyrant, they're going to be raised in darkness all around them. A person who performed his wudu properly, their body parts are going to be shining. People who did good deeds, they're going to be in a good state. They're not going to be in a bad state. They're going to be in a good state. Inshallah, we're all going to be part of that. On the day of judgment, there are a few other ones. The mu'adhin, people who made the adhan, they will have a high place. They will be resurrected in a nice way. Those who died upon righteousness, they're going to be resurrected upon a nice day, in a nice way. Those who went to the masajid in darkness, people who went out, for example, we came here in darkness, they're going to receive full light. They're going to have light with them on the day of judgment. Those who broke promises are going to be in a bad way, so on and so forth. Everybody's going to be presented to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in rows. The sun is going to be brought very, very close to the people. And that's what Shaykh Umar was referring to when people were going to be in sweat. The Prophet ﷺ said that the sun will be brought so close that people will start to sweat. Of course, these are people who were not righteous. Right now, the sun is 92.96 million miles away. And in a couple of days right now, we're going to get into this heat wave again. Look how hot it is, and we're sweating away, and we can't take it anymore. In Pakistan, the poor brothers, there's so much heat out there right now. But on that day, it's going to be brought so close, there are going to be people sweating. And the Prophet ﷺ said they're going to be sweating so much. Some will be sweating, and their ankles are going to be covered with their own sweat. Some, their knees, some, their waist. Some people will be totally immersed in their sweat, depending on the amount of sins that they committed. But there will be people who will be la khawfun alayhim wa la hum yahzanun. People who will have no fear. They're not going to have any grief. Inshallah, you and I are part of that. What is the length of the day of judgment? The length of the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَالْرُوحُ إِلَيْهِ فِي يَوْمٍ كَانَ مِقْدَارُهُ 50,000 سَنَةً. The extent of which is 50,000 years. 50,000 years for those who disbelieved or did not live lives of righteousness. As for the believer, the Prophet ﷺ was asked, what about the believers? How long? They're going to go through 50 years of hardship in the day of judgment? The Prophet ﷺ said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will lighten it. He will lighten this period of time, so it seems to him like less than that time which it took for him to perform the obligatory prayer in this life. So the third prayers that we pray in this life, it will seem less time than that for the people who were righteous. There's going to be a lot of chaos on the day of judgment. Because you know why? Everybody is scared. They don't know how they will face Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everybody's going to be in chaos for the most part. But there will also be people in peace. We'll talk about them in just a second. The hisab and the kitab, the accountability. Adam, come. Let's take accountability. What did you do in your life? Accountability. That's not even going to start yet. So people are going to be in chaos. They're going to go to different prophets. They're going to go to Adam alayhi salam, Nuh alayhi salam, Ibrahim alayhi salam, Musa alayhi salam, Isa alayhi salam. All these prophets, they're going to go to different prophets saying, can you please ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to start the accountability. Just start it. Imagine that. Just start the accountability. Every prophet will say, I cannot do that. I'm not for this. I'm not made for this. Isa alayhi salam will say, Jesus will say, go to Muhammad. He is for this job. When they will come to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he will say, I'm for this job. And he tells, Prophet Muhammad tells himself that on that day, I will prostrate to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will inspire me with such words of praise and glorification. I don't even know right now what I'm going to be saying on that day. But he will stay in prostration, glorifying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say to him, irfa' ra'sak. O Muhammad, irfa' ra'sak, raise your head. وَقُلْ يُسْمَعْ, speak and you shall be heard. وَسَلْ تُعْطَى, ask and you shall be given. وَاشْفَعْ تُشَفَّعْ, and intercede, intercession will be accepted. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam will ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to start the day of judgment. What's going to happen on that day of judgment is every single person will receive their book of deeds. Every single person will receive their book of deeds. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَنُخْرِجُ لَهُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ كِتَابًا يَلْقَاهُ مَنْشُورًا, and we will bring for him on the day of resurrection a record which he will find spread open. And then it will be said, اقرأ كتابك كفى بنفسك اليوم عليك حسيبا. Read your record. Read it. Read your own book. You alone are sufficient this day to take account of yourself. Your book of deeds. Every single thing that you did from the moment you became mature, you hit the age of puberty, till the moment you passed away, it has been recorded. Everything is being recorded. And the Prophet ﷺ talks about this. And he says that everybody who is reckoned thoroughly, whose book of deeds is thoroughly inspected, halaka, that person is done. Imagine this. At 2:59 a.m., you did this and you were on this website and you watched this. And for the whole world, and everybody's watching, everybody's seeing this. That person is halak, done. That if your book of deeds is thoroughly checked. But for example, if the book of deeds is presented and it was just flick through, mashallah, salah here in the Qiyam, mashallah, it was just flick through. That person is going to be, inshallah, on the safe side. That, they were, inshallah, all of us are going to be through that. We're going to be amongst those people who don't get a thorough inspection of our book or deeds, because we know exactly what we do and exactly what we did in our lives. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy. The body of a person will also bear witness. That's another thing. On the day of judgment, a person's body will also be inspected. A person's body will also testify. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, الْيَوْمَ نَخْتِمُ عَلَى أَفْوَاهِهِمْ وَتُكَلِّمُنَا أَيْدِيهِمْ وَتَشْهَدُ أَرْجُلُهُمْ بِمَا كَانُوا يَكْسِبُونَ. That on that day, we will seal over their mouths. نَخْتِمُ عَلَى أَفْوَاهِهِمْ وَتُكَلِّمُنَا أَيْدِيهِمْ. And their hands will speak and their feet will testify on all those things that they used to do. A person will be asked about their life and what they did with it. They will be asked about their youth. All of us over here, inshallah. What did we do about our youth? About our wealth? How was your wealth earned? How was your wealth spent? And what you did with the knowledge that you were taught. Over here, we're taking in that knowledge. What are we going to do with that knowledge? Are we just going to say, oh, mashallah, Shaykh, this is a good talk, and go home? Mom, Dad, Shaykh just killed it, No. We're going to take that, internalize it, start practicing on it from today, inshallah. That I want to take this knowledge with me, I'm going to start practicing upon it. That I want my khatamah, my end, to be a good end. I want my akhirah to be a good akhirah. Moving on. There will be people in peace. And we know the famous hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, that there will be people that will be shaded under the throne of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One of them is going to be a just ruler. One of them is going to be a person who grew up in the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inshallah, all of you over here, you have this beautiful masjid, fill it up every single time. Come over here and do the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So a youth who grew up in the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Another one was a person who remembered Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in seclusion. They remembered Allah and their eyes, they teared up and they actually cried. When they remembered Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they cried and they had remorse over the things that they did. Another person whose heart was attached to the masjid, that when is the next salah? When is the next salah? I want to go. When their heart was attached to the masjid. Another one, number 5, is people who loved each other for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We may have our differences, but for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I love you. Another one is a person who was called, a man specifically, who was charmed by a lady of noble birth to commit zina, to have illegal relations, and he said, Inni akhafu Allah, I fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sister, I can't do this. Or it could be the other way around as well. The sister was called by a brother, and the sister said, Akhi, stay in your lane. Right? Inni akhafu Allah. Moving on. And a person who gave charity so secretly that his left hand didn't know what his right hand has given. So a person gave secretly, he used to give charity. That person is also going to be, all of these categories of people are going to be in peace under the shade of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's throne. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is going to have a special fountain called Hawd al-Kawthar. And from that fountain, he will give every single one of us, inshallah, a drink. When you drink from that fountain, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, you will never be thirsty ever again after that. There will be some people who will try to come, but the angels will move this person away. And the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam will say, he's from my ummah, let him come. And then they will say, no, this person was an innovator. He brought and introduced things into the religion that you didn't teach. He was an innovator, and that person will not be allowed. May Allah protect us. Then there's a mizan, a scale, good and bad deeds. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the good and the bad deeds. Your deeds that you do, they will be given a physical form. A physical form. We may not conceive that right now, but the actions that we do, they're going to have a physical form on the Day of Judgment. And they will be scaled, they will be weighed. If the good deeds outweigh the bad deeds, ثَقُلَتْ مَوَازِينُ فَهُوَ فِي عِيشَةٍ رَاضِيَةٍ. That person's going to be in peace. They're going to be chilling in Jannah. وَمَنْ خَفَّتْ مَوَازِينُ. If your good deeds go up because it's so light, then that's a bad place. They're going to be in a lot of trouble in the hellfire, like Sheikh mentioned earlier. If the deeds are equal, they're going to be in a place called A'raf. It's a holding place, a detaining session, a detaining center of sorts. But eventually, with the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they'll also enter into Jannah. There's an action plan, inshallah, that I want all of us to kind of take home with us. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us to take advantage of 5 things over 5 things. اغتنم خمسا قبل خمس. Take value of your youth before your old age. Take value of your health before your illness. Take value of your prosperity before poverty overtakes you. Take advantage of leisure and free time before occupation and engagement. So youth, you have a lot of free time. Don't Fortnite it away. Do not do that. In case anybody's wondering, Fortnite is this game that everybody's currently playing. A whole bunch of people are playing. I don't know, they tell me, Sheikh, what are you playing? I'm like, I haven't yet. No. I just played one game, I died, and that's it. I'm not going to play again. Right? So don't spend your life away in front of the screen. That goes for everybody, myself included. In front of a screen. Netflix, Hulu, binge watching away in front of a screen, texting away, Instagramming your life away. Don't let your life be spent in front of a screen. Take value of your free time before occupation and engagement. Before you get a job, before now you're so busy working, you have no more time to do anything positive for your akhirah. And take advantage of your life before your death. The Prophet ﷺ is telling us that there will come a day when you will pass away. You need to take advantage of your life. Don't waste your life away. Number 2, leave a legacy, a good legacy on this earth. Youth, you have a lot of power. A lot of power. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes mention of this, that whatever you do on this earth, you're leaving behind a legacy, it leaves a footprint. نحن نحيي الموتى ونكتب ما قدموا وآثارهم وكل شيء أحصيناه في إمام مبين. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is keeping a track, keeping record of all the things that you are doing in this world. Leave behind a good legacy. Do things where people will remember. Your parents will remember, or your relatives will remember. The general public will remember that so-and-so did so-and-so thing, and everybody will come for your janazah salah because you made an impact in their lives. Leave a good legacy behind. 3rd, fulfill the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, your salah, your 5 times salah, your fasting, your zakah, if it's obligatory upon you. Many of you, mashallah, were loaded, right? Way past $1,000 in your account. You gotta start paying your zakah. Nisab is around $300 something, $400, right? If you have that much, 2.5% is nothing, a couple of dollars, right? Zakah, if it's upon you. Hajj, when you're able to do so. Fulfill the rights of the Prophet ﷺ is number 2. The sunnah that he taught, the things that he left behind, absolutely important. We need to take these things and not just think, oh, it's just sunnah. No. That man is the man Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us to look at if we want success. If you want success, look at uswatun hasana. Look at this most beautiful of examples, most beautiful of role models. Fulfill the rights of your parents. Don't say, oh, mom, later on, just gave you 15 minutes, I want to come back later. No. If your mom's calling you, dad's calling you, got to go right away. Relatives, grandparents, whoever it is, society at large. Number 5, remember death. The Prophet ﷺ said, أَكْثِرُوا ذِكْرَ هَذِمِ اللَّذَّاتِ يَعْنِي الْمَوْتِ. Remember death frequently. Don't become those people who live in a little bubble, who just, live their whole lives. Muslims we're talking about, who are living in a little bubble, and as soon as something real happens, somebody talks a little real about death or whatever, you start feeling uncomfortable. You start feeling, no, remember death. It is the destroyer of pleasures, meaning it brings you back on track. That I need to remember death so that I can remember my purpose in life. And lastly, make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He gives us death in such a state that you are a Muslim and join us with the righteous people. Yusuf alayhi salam made a dua. فاطر السماوات والأرض أنت ولي في الدنيا والآخرة توفني مسلما وألحقني بالصالحين. Grant me a death in such a state that I am a Muslim. Give me a death upon iman, upon belief, and join me with the righteous people. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept what has been said. Wa akhiru da'wana, alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Any questions?
Thank you very much, Sheikh Tahir. MashaAllah, that was a great insight. Hopefully we can learn from that and apply in our daily lives. So inshallah, we are going to be breaking off for 2 more Qiyam. After that, we're going to be going to our activity session. I know some of you may be a little tired, but that, inshallah, will wake you guys up, huh? Oh, sorry, yes, questions before we move on. Any questions? Okay, we got a few. So, all right, Brother Jerome, we'll start off with you, inshallah.
If you die upon the state of Islam, there will come a day that you will definitely be entered into Jannah. So every single believer, inshallah, every single believer at the end of it, they will enter into paradise. And we actually know about the person who will enter paradise last. So there will be a person who will be in Jahannam, and then they'll be taken into paradise, and they will get a Jannah, so on and so forth. So yes, every single person, inshallah, will enter into paradise. Yes. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows, we don't know. We don't know. Barzakh is the realm, the intermediary realm. The realm in between Akhirah and Dunya. Dunya, Akhirah, you're in between, you're in Barzakh. And for a believer, it's a very short period of time. For a disbeliever, it's long. It feels like a very long time. And if you're a good believer, then your grave is expanded, and you're in a nice place inside of your grave. It's a time in the grave, right? Sorry. It's a time in the grave. In a different realm in the Barzakh, yes.
We'll take a few sisters and then we'll come back. Sisters, you had a hand? Don't be shy, it's okay, inshallah. Get it out now. Yes. Well, the sister asked a question, for people who are cremated, what is their outcome?
Doesn't matter what way you die. Doesn't matter how you die. You can obliterate yourself with nuclear bombs or whatever it is. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bring you back. And He will definitely resurrect you no matter how you pass away, no matter what will happen to your body, no matter where you were scattered. And we know this from the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam when he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya Allah, can you show me how you're going to resurrect the dead after you take their life? How will you resurrect them? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked Ibrahim, don't you believe? And he said, no, Allah, I just want to give my heart some peace. I just want to see it. He was a prophet of Allah, so he can ask these kind of things. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked him to cut some birds, slaughter some birds, mix up their meat, mix up everything, and place them on different parts, different places, and then he was told to call them. And when he called them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought all of those birds back to life, and he, whatever pieces from wherever they were brought back. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala definitely has the power wherever, even if you were cremated. Does that answer the question? Or?
sisters, anybody? All right. Bro, you had a question? Go ahead.
How do you become one of those people? You gotta try your best. Ultimately, it comes down to the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like Shaykh Umar said, right? A person needs to try their absolute best. And when it comes to that point, inshallah, we'll be part of that. And we will enter into paradise with the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have to try our best, though. What do we know about? I would say, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا رَبُّنَا اللَّهُ ثُمَّ اسْتَقَامُوا. What do you think, Shaykh Ahmed? How do we become part of the 70,000 people who will enter into paradise without hisab kitab? Right? This is work hard. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا رَبُّنَا اللَّهُ ثُمَّ اسْتَقَامُوا. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if you said, I believe in Allah, Rabbuna Allah, you said Allah is my Lord, and you were steadfast upon that. You were steadfast all the way throughout your life. تَتَنَزَّلُ عَلَيْهِمُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَلَا تَخَافُوا وَلَا تَحْزَنُوا. Then all these good things start happening. Angels come to you, don't fear, don't get scared, everything's good to go, let's go. And you're just going one step to another, and everything just feels like a breeze, inshallah, right? So if we want to be part of that, the effort that needs to be there, steadfastness needs to be there, right? It can't just be, I'm going to be pious in the month of Ramadan, come Chandrat, eat mela, whatever, and everybody's just going crazy, right? Brothers and sisters, mashallah, you see what I'm saying? Like, there has to be steadfastness, so that when it comes time for the akhirah, when it comes time to pass away, then you've already lived a life of stability. You've lived a life of being constant with what you believed in, what you professed. Does that answer your question, brother? Just stay steadfast, that's important. We're not saying to you, come to Hajj every single day. Do the bare minimum at least. Do the bare minimum, stay away from the bad deeds. That's the bare minimum a person can do. Inshallah, we'll be part of those people. Yes. So that's a huge question, a deep question. I'm still looking into it because I was recently studying about mental health issues and all that. So I'm still kind of wrapping my head around suicide and mental health, and when it comes to Islam, the Islamic perspective of it. I'm still trying to get my. If anything comes up, we'll try to put it up on the. Do you guys have a group for this for the PM? There's a group, we'll try to put it up inshallah over there. But at this moment, I'm still looking into it myself. Because we know the Islamic perspective, that a person who passed away committing suicide, they're going to continue doing that, even if they're going to be raised that way, right? We know about that. But then when it comes to mental health, and when it comes to a person's state of mind, I'm still looking into it myself. Inshallah. There's a sister, okay, we'll talk more inshallah. Was there any other questions? Inshallah? Okay, Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum. Can a non-Muslim? Yeah. Yeah. So there will be. So the question is, will non-Muslim people go to Jannah? And as far as my understanding goes, you need to have been Muslim and said Shahada to enter into paradise. A lot of people have done a lot of good. The Prophet's own uncle, Abu Talib, he was the Prophet's biggest supporter after his wife Khadija. The biggest supporter. You can't get any more better good deeds in this world than that, right? He was the biggest supporter of the Prophet ﷺ, and the Prophet ﷺ told his uncle, just give me something, give me a little bit, just tell me, whisper something into my ear, la ilaha illallah, something. But he didn't. And the Prophet ﷺ said that I will continue praying for my uncle until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, no, you can't. And that's exactly what happened. It was revealed in the Quran that the Prophet, it is not befitting of the Prophet to make dua for somebody who has passed away on disbelief in that way. And the same thing happened with Ibrahim alayhi salam. Ibrahim alayhi salam said, I want to make dua for my father. And he continued making dua until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, no, your father passed away as a mushrik, and you can't, there's nothing for that. But there's going to be, for Abu Talib, punishment is going to be decreased. Because of the du'as of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his punishment is going to be decreased. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all tawfiq and grant us, a firm iman in our hearts.
All right, thank you everybody. Inshallah, we'll proceed with the prayer. So if you can line up again, inshallah, we'll have Qadi on us come to the front.
Alhamdulillah, salatu wassalam ala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. My brothers and sisters, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless over you. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to cover you with His mercy. It was like very nice moment right now, mashallah, seeing all of you, young people, coming to the house of Allah and worshipping Allah Azza wa Jal. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless inshallah all of you and inshallah give you tawfiq inshallah in this dunya, and inshallah will grant you the Jannah inshallah in the hereafter. Jazakumullah khairan for coming. Inshallah we are going inshallah to have 2 rak'ahs inshallah, and I will be reciting from Surah Al-Ahzab from ما كان محمد أبا أحد من رجالكم, and inshallah I will try my best not to make it too long. Jazakumullah khairan. You like it to be too long or like short? I'm ready for everything. Inshallah. Allahu Akbar. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. ما كان محمد أبا أحد من رجالكم ولكن رسول الله وخاتم النبيين وكان الله بكل شيء عليما. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اذكروا الله ذكرا كثيرا وسبحوه بكرة وأصيلا. هو الذي يصلي عليكم وملائكته ليخرجكم من الظلمات إلى النور وكان بالمؤمنين رحيما. تحيتهم يوم يلقونه سلام وأعد لهم أجرا كريما. يا أيها النبي إنا أرسلناك شاهدا ومبشرا ونذيرا وداعيا إلى الله بإذنه وسراجا منيرا. وبشر المؤمنين بأن لهم من الله فضلا كبيرا. ولا تطع الكافرين والمنافقين ودع أذاهم وتوكل على الله وكفى بالله وكيلا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا نكحتم المؤمنات ثم طلقتموهن من قبل أن تمسوهن فما لكم عليهن من عدة تعتدونها فمتعوهن
وسرحوهن سراحا جميلا. يا أيها النبي إنا أحللنا لك أزواجك اللاتي آتيت أجورهن وما ملكت يمينك مما أفاء الله عليك وبنات عمك وبنات عماتك وبنات خالك وبنات خالاتك اللاتي هاجرن معك وامرأة مؤمنة إن وهبت نفسها للنبي إن أراد النبي أن يستنكحها خالصة لك من دون المؤمنين. قد علمنا ما فرضنا عليهم في أزواجهم وما ملكت أيمانهم لكي لا يكون عليك حرج وكان الله غفورا رحيما. ترجي من تشاء منهن وتؤوي إليك من تشاء ومن ابتغيت ممن عزلت فلا جناح عليك. ذلك أدنى أن تقر أعينهن ولا يحزن ويرضين بما آتيتهن كلهن والله يعلم ما في قلوبكم وكان الله عليما حليما. لا يحل لك النساء من بعد ولا أن تبدل بهن من أزواج ولو أعجبك حسنهن إلا ما ملكت يمينك وكان الله على كل شيء رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تدخلوا بيوت النبي إلا أن يؤذن لكم إلى طعام غير ناظرين إناه ولكن إذا دعيتم فادخلوا فإذا طعمتم فانتشروا ولا مستأنسين لحديث إن ذلكم كان يؤذي النبي فيستحيي منكم والله لا يستحيي من الحق. وإذا سألتموهن متاعا فاسألوهن من وراء حجاب ذلكم أطهر لقلوبكم وقلوبهم. وما كان لكم أن تؤذوا رسول الله ولا أن تنكحوا أزواجه من بعده أبدا إن ذلكم كان عند الله عظيما. إن تبدوا شيئا أو تخفوه فإن الله كان بكل شيء عليما. لا جناح عليهن في آبائهن ولا أبنائهن ولا إخوانهن يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما إن الذين يؤذون الله ورسوله لعنهم الله في الدنيا والآخرة وأعد لهم عذابا مهينا والذين يؤذون المؤمنين والمؤمنات بغير ما اكتسبوا فقد احتملوا بهتانا وإثما مبينا يا أيها النبي قل لأزواجك وبناتك ونساء المؤمنين يدنين عليهن من جلابيبهن ذلك أدنى أن يعرفن فلا يؤذين وكان الله غفورا رحيما لئن لم ينته المنافقون والذين في قلوبهم مرض والمرجفون في المدينة لنغرينك بهم ثم لا يجاورونك فيها إلا قليلا ملعونين أينما ثقفوا أخذوا وقتلوا تقتيلا سنة الله في الذين خلوا من قبل ولن تجد لسنة الله تبديلا الله سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين يسألك الناس عن الساعة قل إنما علمها عند الله وما يدريك لعل الساعة تكون قريبا إن الله لعن الكافرين وأعد لهم سعيرا خالدين فيها أبدا لا يجدون وليا ولا نصيرا يوم تقلب وجوههم في النار يقولون يا ليتنا أطعنا الله وأطعنا الرسولا خيرا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تكونوا كالذين آذوا موسى فبرأه الله مما قالوا وكان عند الله وجيها. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. إنا عرضنا الأمانة على السماوات والأرض والجبال فأبين أن يحملنها وأشفقن منها وحملها الإنسان إنه كان ظلوما جهولا. ليعذب الله المنافقين والمنافقات والمشركين والمشركات ويتوب الله على المؤمنين والمؤمنات وكان الله غفورا رحيما. الله سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله الله أكبر. الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Jazakumullah khairan for coming again. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our ibadat, our good deeds. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive our shortcomings. Jazakumullah khairan.
All right, alhamdulillah, you guys have made it this far. So we still have a little more to go, but we've reached the activity session of the night, inshallah. So this is what's going to happen. It's going to be a little childish to do this, I'm sorry, but I will number you guys off. We're going to number in groups of 1 through 10. So the brothers will be 1 through 5. The sisters will be, actually, the brothers will be 1 through, let's say, 7. The sisters will be 7 through 10, inshallah. So Sister Yasmin Azam is, there she is. She's going to be numbering you guys off, and then I'll number the brothers off. So if group 1 can go over there, group 2 over here, group 3 over here, group 4 over here, group 5 over there, group 6 over there, group 7 over there, and then 8, 9, 10, inshallah. Okay, I'll say it again afterwards. If you want to, so I'm going to be calling the youth, but you know, if any uncles want to play, inshallah, want to get in this, just stay. If not, run away, inshallah, the doors are over there. I'm joking, inshallah. So I'll start off, okay? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, we're just going to 7. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. All right. So again, group 1 over here, group 2 over here, group 3 over there. You guys listen up. All right, find your group number. So 1, 2, and 3 up here. Then behind them 4, 5, 6, and then 7 in the back. And then 8, 9, 10. 10 being on that side, 8 being on this side. Once you find your group, take a seat, inshallah, okay? Let's make this quick. Take a seat, take a seat. Let's go. All right, where are my group 1s at? Where's 1? 1? Okay, where's 2? 2, all right, take a seat, please. Take a seat, inshallah. All right, where's group 3? Group 3? No group 3s? Group 3? Where's group 4? Where's everyone going? Group 4? Oh, group 4 is there, okay. Group 5? Where's group 4? You group 3? Okay, 4 is over here. All right, group 5, inshallah. 5? Okay. Samir, inshallah. Group 5. What are you guys? You remember? 3? Okay. Okay. You 3 group together, inshallah. Yeah, yeah. Right here. Group with these guys. All right. And what are you guys? 7. Okay, inshallah. And then sisters, we're good? All right. So this is what's going to happen, inshallah. Samir, you have I don't know. Just sit. Group of something, inshallah. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass out a piece of paper, and on that piece of paper, if I can have your guys' attention, inshallah. All right, so on that piece of paper, there's going to be either a verse from the Quran, a hadith, or a topic within Islam. And so what I want each and one of you to do, first I want you guys to introduce yourselves to your group mates because you guys might not know each other. And then after that, I want you guys to discuss the significance of whatever is on the piece of paper. I'll give you guys maybe 10 minutes, and then inshallah, I want you to choose one spokesperson from each group who is going to speak on the significance of what that is. After this activity, we will move into Jeopardy, and then after Jeopardy, we'll move to Suhoor, okay? So the brothers out there in the lobby, I'll call you guys out, inshallah. I'll just drag them afterwards, inshallah. So I'll bring over the papers right now. All right, you guys are more than welcome to use your phones to look up if you're not familiar with the topic. So it's 2:41 right now. At 2:50, we'll go around and inshallah have the spokesperson speak on the topic, inshallah, okay? So make sure you choose one person from each group. All right, I'm going to cut it short 1 minute. So you have 2 more minutes, inshallah. Please finish up the topic and choose one person, inshallah, to be the spokesperson. All right, guys, inshallah, it's 2:50. So if I can get your guys' attention, please choose your spokesperson, and then I'll go around and pass the mic. Keep it short, not more than a minute, inshallah. Okay, just give a quick summary of what you guys found. Okay, so inshallah, this group right here, we'll start off with you guys. Farhad, you ready? Inshallah. Who's our spokesperson here? Yeah. All right. All right, guys, please give your attention to this group, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Salman. So we have the punishment of the grave. So the punishment of the grave is the following: death, but prior to the day of judgment, when the souls of the unrighteous are punished. We need to avoid it so that we are closer to Jannah. In the grave, we were asked the 3 questions. If you cannot answer those questions, the punishment will begin. Narration says that if you are bad, it is as if your soul is wet cotton being ripped out, versus good is like your soul being poured out by the angel. The significance, because if you are saved from the punishment, then inshallah you'll go to Jannah. And if you're good, your grave becomes bigger and there's no punishment, and the time is short in the grave.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum, Shaykh. All right, I'll let you guys decide off the bat. All right. Samir, mashallah. Rayhan. Please stand up. Let's sing now.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ahmad, and we're discussing the ayah. We're discussing Surah Al-Baqarah, verse number 167. Says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. وقال الذين اتبعوا لو أن لنا كرة فنتبرأ منهم كما تبرأوا منا كذلك يريهم الله أعمالهم حسرات عليهم وما هم بخارجين من النار. And the meaning of the ayah here is that for those who passed away and they had in their heart they were mushrik, so they prayed another God with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So they're regretting what they did, and they were asking for another chance to come back to life, get rid of that shirk and pray Allah by himself without anyone else. And that's how Allah is showing them after the death, as the Imam discussed here, in the Day of Judgment, all your deeds and everything that you did comes in front of you, and you see it. And where they're seeing what they've done and the shirk that they had, they're regretting it, and they're asking for another chance to come back to life. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is replying is that He will show them their shirk and their deeds as stuff that brings them down. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that they have no chance to get out of the hellfire. And that's what the ayah is mentioning.
Thank you, bro. Inshallah. Yes? Say your name and what masjid you're from.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Rasik. I'm actually from West Valley, not from any of your masjids. But your masjid is really cool. So we got the throne of Allah, and so we found 6 facts about the throne of Allah to help us understand His greatness and His greatness of His creation. So the throne of Allah is Allah's first and greatest creation. The throne of Allah is on water. The bearer of the throne is an angel, and the Prophet ﷺ said, one of the bearers of the throne, the Prophet ﷺ said, I have been permitted to tell about one of Allah's angels who bears the throne, that the distance between the lobe of his ear and his shoulder is a journey of 700 years. So basically, it's a really heavy throne, really requires a strong angel to carry it. Glorifying Allah reaches the throne. What you mention of the glory of Allah, of Tasbih, Subhanallah, Tahleel, Allahu Akbar, and Tahmid, Alhamdulillah, revolves around the throne, buzzing like bees, reminding of the one who said it. Wouldn't any one of you like to have or continue to have something that reminds of him in the presence of Allah? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's mercy is mentioned over the throne. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala completed the creation, He wrote in His book, which is with Him on His throne, my mercy overpowers my anger. And Al-Firdaus, which is the highest paradise, is directly under the throne of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So 6 facts about the throne of Allah.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Quick announcement. There's a Honda Civic, a gray Honda Civic. I hate to do this. There's a gray Honda Civic that's blocking somebody. It has a UCLA license plate. I'm sure you're a smart guy, but or sister, but you shouldn't be blocking other people. So, inshallah, if you could please move your car, inshallah. Muhammad, that's not you, bro? Okay, inshallah. All right. Go to this group. So please keep it within a minute, inshallah, because we want to move on. So, who's this? Is that?
Hi, Assalamu alaikum. So I'm not going to be using my phone and cheating, so I'll. So my thing is, mine is, this is a quote from the Quran. These are the people who buy the life of this world at the expense of the hereafter. Their penalty will not be lightened, nor will be helped. And this is verse 286. So it's a great verse, and I just highlighted and annotated on it, just as simplifying it. So I was looking at it, and I saw that it says, "People who buy the life of this world at the expense of their hereafter," and it could be looked at. Like, for example, interest, it's haram. And we don't think about this, but everything associated in our life with interest, like, for example, look at the housing crisis that we're having. The prices of houses are just going higher and higher. It's because there's interest associated with it, and that's haram. And our last economic collapse was due to interest, the subprime mortgage. So, that's amazing that the Quran was able to predict this, how we could prevent this. And it's also, don't do haram, give that 2.5% zakat, don't let greed stop you from doing good things. Because the quote does say, people who buy this life at the people who buy the life of this world at the expense of the hereafter. We usually think, oh, let's save a little bit more money, let's go buy that new car or something. How about we take that money and give it back, give it to people that might need that as a COD fund? So that's what I would suggest. So that's my simplified version of this quote, and we were able to, I have this wonderful group here that was able to provide me with those details. But thank you so much.
Thank you, Zahid. Appreciate that. All right, sisters, so I'm letting you guys go, inshallah. You guys are young, so don't worry about it. Do we have a sister here that's going to speak, inshallah? Yes? Okay.
So our topic was the skill of deeds, and we talked about how, so the more good deeds that you do, the more your skill weighs. But we also talked about quality over quantity, where the sincerity of your action matters a lot more than how much you do. So it doesn't matter how many rak'ahs you pray of Tarawih, it's about the khushu' that you have. And we also talked about the woman who fed a dog, and because of her kindness that she showed to animals, she was forgiven. So the whole point that we focused on was about the significance of our intentions behind our actions. So that's all.
Thank you. Inshallah, this group right here.
Assalamu alaikum. Okay, so our question was, who will find shade under Allah's throne? There are 7 basic type of people. Number 1 is a just ruler. Number 2 is a youth who grew up in the worship of Allah. Number 3, the mighty and the majestic, which is a man whose heart is attached to the mosque. Number 4 are 2 men who love each other for Allah's sake. Number 5, a man who is called by the woman a beauty and position, but says, I fear Allah. Number 6, a man who gives in charity and hides it. And finally, number 7, a man who remembered Allah in private and shed tears.
Thank you, Shem. Inshallah. All right.
Okay, so we had the horn on the Day of Judgment, and it's basically, there are 2 horns. The first one is when everybody becomes unconscious, and they get revived by the second horn, which is blown by Israfil. And they get asked questions. If they are able to answer them, then they get released. If not, then they stay there for a long time. And then we're done.
All right, thank you, sister. All right, alhamdulillah, now is the time we've all been waiting for, our Islamic Jeopardy, inshallah. Just to let you know, if you have someone who's from the Islamic Center of Hawthorne on your team, you already have an advantage because they're very competitive. So inshallah, they're going to try their best to win. Muhammad is looking for the gold, inshallah, so be careful of that brother over there. But I will hand it off to Matt Electricity, who organized the game. He will explain the rules and whatnot. So here you go, Matt.
Yeah, let's go, guys. Okay, before we get started, I'll tell you guys some of the questions are really hard, some of them are really easy. So if you don't know the answers, I'm sorry, go read a book. I'm joking. Guys, we're here to learn, we're not here to see who's the smartest. So this is how it's going to work, okay? Everybody who's not in a group, how about you guys jump into a group? You know? I guess you guys should just stay in your same groups. I'm going to be passing out these little note card things, post-it stamps, and a pen too. And the way this is going to work, right, you guys are going to write down your team number, and you guys are going to write down the answer, okay? After I ask the question, you guys are going to have 1 minute to answer. You guys got to give me the question or the answer before the 1 minute finishes, okay?
By the way, I'm not going to say we have a prize. Your prize is waiting for you in Jannah, inshallah. But try your best, inshallah. So I don't know.
Okay, guys, so
We have 25 questions, 5 categories. There's one of them that I might remove if it causes too much trouble. It's nothing controversial, don't worry. Right now we're going to move it, so remember, I'm going to ask you guys the question for however many points. I'm going to go to order of every topic, 100 to 500. No phones, guys, please, no cheating. And if you're cheating, remember, it's Ramadan, God's watching. Extra close now. Yeah, that's basically it. Okay, you guys all have your team numbers. Whatever you guys are going to give an answer, write down your team number on that post-it, or else you won't get the points, okay? If you guys get a question wrong, we're going to deduct points. Okay, never mind. We're going to... Okay, so boys, how many teams are there? 7?
All right, so this group is number 1. I'm not saying you're going to be first, but you're number 1. Number 2, number 3, number 4. Is this one big group right here? All right, number 5. Number 6, number 7, number 8, inshallah, okay? All right, so each group is going to get a notepad and a pen.
Okay. Okay, would anybody like to volunteer to come up here and do this? Oh, never mind. Everybody pens? I guess 2 pens, just in case one of them runs out. 2 pens. Oh, it's just so I can give them all up. Just so when I ask questions. So guys, we're going to start. The categories are Sahaba, difference of opinion. That is going to be where you guys either answer difference of opinion or Quran or Hadith, which is going to give you guys a certain issue, and you guys are going to say if there's a consensus or difference of opinion. And I'll get more specific on how the answer is going to work for that one. And then Islamic history, prophets, and seerah. Okay. Let's get started, everybody, okay? All right, guys, remember when you guys are answering, write your team number on the paper and bring it up to this table over here, okay? So team 1, from the categories I told you guys, which one do you guys want to start with? As Sahaba, difference of opinion. Okay, guys. The hardest one. No, okay, let me tell you guys how this is going to work, okay? I'm working with, I'm giving you guys a certain issue or topic or concern in Islam, right? And I'm going to give you guys maybe a scenario or topic, and then you guys are going to tell me if there's a major difference of opinion. I'm not saying what your mom told you, one fatwa she gave you. I'm talking about the majority of scholars and how they feel about this, okay? Or if there's consensus on it, as in the Quran or Hadith from the Rasul have like set it straight, okay? We all get that one? Okay. If it gets, too controversial, I'll remove it. Okay. Let's see. 100. Okay, remember. When you're ready to get your answer, go to Bilal, okay? All right. 100. Oh, we're going to start with 100 and then go up, okay? So 100. When concerning joining a sunnah with a fard, which means if you guys still don't pray Asha and you guys make it tarweeh, can you guys pray Asha while they're praying tarweeh? We're joining them. Is there a difference of opinion, or is there evidence in Quran and Hadith for this? Sorry. Okay. For you guys, when concerning joining a sunnah with a fard. So if you guys, in this example, you guys still don't pray Asha, but the masjid, everyone's praying tarweeh. Can you join them and continue on and pray Asha? So can you join a sunnah and pray fard with them? Okay? Yeah. No, they shouldn't be able to, because then they'll know. Oh, hey guys, just to make sure, if you guys get the question wrong, you guys are going to get points deducted. Alright? If you get it wrong, yeah. Wait, what did I say? Okay. Did everybody turn it in? No? Oh, forgot a timer. Oh yeah, and you guys don't need to answer, so you know you don't get it wrong. When everyone turns it in. See. I forgot. Oh, yeah, everybody turned it in? We're done? We're good? Cool beans? Everyone's done? Okay. Just for you guys, I did research on it, and I consulted with Sheikh Hamdi and Sheikh Uthman, so if you guys don't like them, I'm sorry. Okay, so the answer was difference of opinion. The two differences of opinion is no, you can't do that. Yeah, 100. Alright, that's making it simple. Okay, now here's the next one, okay? Can you touch the Quran if you don't have wudu? Timer is on. You got 1 minute to turn it in. Can you touch the Quran if you don't have wudu? Yeah, so is there consensus on this? Is there a difference of opinion, or is there consensus on this? Do we all agree from the Quran or Hadith? But if you don't, then that's what I mean. When I search it up, okay. If you haven't given your answer yet, it doesn't count. Sorry. I said it 1 minute's on, and then I put the time. Oh my God. Okay. Alright, I'll forgive you, okay? It counts. Okay, guys. So, based on Sheikh Hamdi, this one was kind of a trick question, what he told me. He said, although the Quran does mention that you must be pure before touching it, the majority of scholars, this is a difference of opinion though, because it was a difference of opinion. So, although the Quran does say there's an ayah that talks about how you must be pure before touching it, one of the opinions is that you don't, it doesn't mean you need to have wudu, it just means that you're not, it says no janaba. Alright, get that? Are we all cool beans on that? Okay. Difference of opinion. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, so whenever you guys are ready, I'm going to put on the timer after I finish the question. If you guys need any clarifications, please tell me. Okay, guys. Okay, here's the question, okay? Concerning inheritance laws, as in the basics of who gets what and how much they get from the deceased, is there a consensus through Quran or Hadith, or is there a difference in opinion? On the majority, on the big stuff. So, The timer is now on. Okay. When concerning inheritance laws, as in who gets what and how much they get from the deceased person. So you die, who gets how much from all your... No, I'm talking about just the basics. Just the basics, because that's... I know, it's fine. Yeah, of course. That's the whole thing, all of that. I'm not talking about these, I'm talking about the general. So either say different opinion or you can act on hadith. No. What? Sorry, 10 seconds left. What'd you say? Hey, who's group 8? Raise your hand. Oh, there. Okay, timer's done. Hope you guys all answered. Okay. For this question, the answer is Quran/Hadith. If you guys would like the evidence for that, you guys go to Surah An-Nisa. The intro to inheritance laws is ayah 7 to 10. Then the main rules are 11 and 12, and also 176. So if you guys don't agree with me, open up the Quran. I said in the beginning, Quran/Hadith. Consensus, yes. Okay. Come on, Muhammad. Quran is Okay, guys. Now 400, okay? What? Middle? Okay. What happened? I'm going to go through all of them and then you guys can choose the next one. Because then it's less complicated and there's no projector. That's okay. Let's choose. Next side. Which, okay, I'll say it twice. Okay. Okay, guys, now next question. This is for 400 points, okay? I'm going to give you guys an example, okay? Scenario. So it is. If you and your friends get up to pray, right? And after Salah, the Imam remembers he didn't have wudu. Does everyone, not including the Imam, have to redo their Salah? Okay? So you guys either say difference of opinion or there's an answer in Quran/Hadith. So one more time, you guys get up to pray, and then turns out the Imam didn't have wudu after you guys finished. Does everybody have to redo the prayer? Not including like the Imam has to redo, but does everybody else have to? Yeah. Does anybody need clarification? It's a verb. Wait, a noun? An adjective. Square root of 32. Okay, guys, 20 seconds left. So let's hurry up. Okay, 10 seconds left. Everybody got it? Go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Okay. So the answer is difference of opinion. Okay, guys. So I'm going to give you guys differences of opinion, just so you guys know. So the Shafi'i madhab says that everyone's salah is not connected. So if somebody else makes a mistake or the imam makes a mistake, it's not your fault. Hanafi madhab says everyone's prayer is connected, so if the imam's prayer is invalid, so everybody else's. The Maliki madhab is kind of a bit of both. We're all connected, but if both of you guys for sure had no evidence that each of your salahs are invalid, it doesn't, mess up your salah. Okay? Okay, guys. So, next question. Okay, so 500. You guys ready? Okay. Alright, concerning the validity of your wudu, which means what is required and what is optional when you're making wudu. So, what parts of wudu do you have to do, which parts do you not have to do, you know what I mean, from the little stuff. So, it's either is there a difference of opinion or is there evidence to Quran or Hadith? Huh? What's required and just what's required? Yeah, what's farad in your wudu? What makes your wudu valid? Concerning the validity of your wudu, so what's farad in your wudu and what's not? Is there a difference of opinion? Farad, what's farad in your wudu? No. Oh, no. You don't need to put what is, you don't need to put like what is consensus? What is hadith? Oh, there's no timer. 30 seconds I'll give you guys. Okay. One more time. Concerning the validity of your wudu. So what's farad in your wudu, and if you don't do it, it'll make your wudu invalid. No, wudu. I said wudu. Okay, guys, 15 seconds left if you haven't answered. Let's go, guys. It's basically true or false. Two options. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, timer's done. Okay, if you haven't answered, that sucks. Okay, so the answer is Quran/Hadith. Okay, if you guys want the evidence for that, calm down. Go Surah Al-Ma'idah, Ayah 6. Read the first part. I can read the translation if you guys want me to. It says, O you who have believed, when you rise for prayer, wash your faces and your forearms to the elbows, and wipe over your head, and wash your feet to the ankles. Okay, if you guys don't agree with that, I got something to tell you guys. Alright, now who's team 2? Raise your hand. Or we'll go to one team from the sisters. You guys. From the rest of the categories, Sahaba, Islamic history, prophets, and Sirah. Which one do you guys want? Prophets. Okay, guys, we got prophets. Let's go. Prophets. The category is prophets. No. Okay, guys, let's get started. No. Dang, that hurts. Okay, 100. This prophet was gifted with a miracle that would allow him to bend and mold iron. Okay, you guys just need to write the name of the prophet and bring it up here, okay? So, he was gifted a miracle that would allow him to bend and mold iron. No phones, no cheating, okay? Come on, guys. A prophet. Like God told him to do stuff. Do 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 do. Okay, guys, 30 seconds left. If you don't answer, you don't get points deducted, okay? If you don't answer, you don't get points taken off. Okay, guys, 5 seconds left. If you didn't answer, run up here. 2, 1, 0. Okay, guys. The answer is Prophet Dawood. Woo! Okay, guys. Hope you guys got that one right. If you didn't, I'm sorry. Hey. Okay, guys. Now for 200 points, okay? Okay, the Prophet Muhammad, his lineage traces to Prophet Ibrahim, okay? But through which of Prophet Ibrahim's sons did he come down from? So, Prophet Muhammad, descendant of Prophet Ibrahim, but which of Prophet Ibrahim's sons does he descend from? Guys, A or B? A or B? Alright, has everyone answered yet? Who's still thinking about it? Raise your hand. Is anyone still thinking about it? Okay. So, if you didn't answer yet, you don't get points. The answer is Prophet Ismail. Okay. Huh? Yeah, 200. Okay. Huh? Yeah. You want me to do that? Okay. You want me to do it for the next one? Okay. Okay, guys, so the next one, this is 300 for 300 points, okay? 300 points. It's like 200 plus 100, or 400 minus 200. Wait. I'm joking, I'm messing with you. Those on purpose. Okay. Okay, guys, for 300 points, the Thamud were a group of people located in modern Jordan, and they were skilled in carving their homes and buildings into the mountainside, okay? Which prophet was sent to these people? So again, these people, the Thamud, were a group of people located in modern Jordan, and there's the thing they were skilled at is carving their homes and their buildings into the mountainside. It's like, this is the earth, and then it's like on the one side of it. It's like, oh, you're right, you're right. Okay. Yes. Okay, guys. Let's go. 30 seconds left. Okay, guys, 15 seconds left. Let's go, 15 seconds. Mahmoud. Hey, green jacket. Sure. Okay. Wait, actually, Muhammad, come up here. He's back. Okay, you guys. Okay, they're gonna keep bring up the answers up here, and then you guys are just gonna see which questions. So if they get it wrong,
I circled like that's updated scoring, and then these are the new numbers you just added.
so whatever they give you, just right up here. If they get it wrong, minus. Okay, guys, timer's done. Okay, guys, the answer was Prophet Saleh. Okay. 10 more? Alright, cool beans. Okay, guys, we're gonna go through this a little bit fast. 300. Okay, guys, we're gonna go this a little bit faster, okay? Now listen up to this next question. It's kind of a trick question, okay? It's kind of a trick question. Listen to it. Although this man was not a prophet, he's not a prophet, okay? I know it's confusing, guys. This man is not a prophet, but he was mentioned in the Quran as a very wise and pious man. Okay, so one more time. This man is not a prophet, but he was mentioned in the Quran, kind of like one that was mentioned like pretty significantly, okay? Okay? As a very wise and pious man. Name this man. Huh? Okay, this was like really significant. Okay, guys, since this is very confusing, there's a surah named after him. Okay? Sorry.
To be fair, 6 could have got it right.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Since this team is being a baby, we'll just subtract points from everybody. Okay, guys, is everyone's final things in? Okay, sorry. Okay, so this next question for 500 points, okay? Oh, the answer, sorry. The answer was a man named Luqman. Okay, sorry. Okay, guys, so this is for 500 points. This prophet was the first human being to learn how to write. Okay, ready? Everyone done? Everyone answered? Okay, 15 seconds left. If you don't write anything down, you don't get points taken off. Okay, guys, 15 seconds are done. If you didn't answer, you can't answer. That sucks. Okay? The answer is Prophet Idris. Okay, guys, so we only have a few minutes left, so I'm just going to go with the high point, like the 400 and 500 of the rest of the categories. Okay? I'm going to start off with the 400s of category. Mohamed, hey, you. Listen up, buddy, okay? Listen up. Okay. So 400 from Sahaba, okay? This is who was the Sahaba that would prank the people of Medina, including the Prophet Muhammad? Prank. It's like pull pranks on them. Who was the Sahaba that would prank the people of Medina, including the Prophet Muhammad? To like the point where some of them wanted to kill him. Okay. No, Sahaba. Sahaba, guys, this is a Sahaba question, okay? Who was the Sahaba that would prank the people of Medina, including the Prophet Muhammad? If they didn't answer, no, you don't have to try. Okay, guys, 20 seconds left. Yeah, you know it's hard. Prank. Okay, here's a hint, okay? He once sold his friend for fun. As a joke. Okay, guys, so 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, guys, so. Did anybody answer? No, that was not close. Okay. So, the answer was Al-Nu'ayman ibn Amr. What? 1 minute? Okay, got you. Okay. Let's just go to the 500 of which one's the hardest. Okay, this is an interesting one. This is Islamic history, okay? Islamic history for 500, okay? Who was the first Muslim leader to send a delegation to China? Hey, it's 500, it's hard. Okay, first Muslim leader. Yeah, you have to last question. Yeah, okay, we'll tell okay, guys, so it seems like everyone's leaving because they suck at this game. I'm joking. Okay, guys, so let's go. 20 seconds left. Huh? Sahaba. The Islamic history, sorry. Islamic history. Okay, he was a Sahaba, okay? That kind of narrows it down. Okay, guys, so if you didn't get your answer in, I'm sorry. They're kicking us out. So the answer was Uthman ibn Affan. Yeah. I'm sure of it. I read it in a book, and I Googled it. Yeah, I guess since they want us to leave. Okay, guys, so.
All right, guys, inshallah, he'll count up the score and let you guys know who won later. So if I can have the sisters first, please make your way downstairs, inshallah. Suhoor's waiting for you. So you'll have 10 minutes to put your food, and then the brothers are going to be charging behind you, inshallah. So please get your food as soon as possible. And please hurry because we don't have too much time. So. Brothers, please hold off, inshallah, until the sisters go down.
All right, so guys, now it's our turn to go get the food. So go ahead.